WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. One person is dead after a single car crash in Cape Coral this morning. Right now, we're working to find out how the crash happened and who died. It happened on Diplomat Parkway West near Santa Barbara Boulevard. All lanes are reopened. The LaBelle community honored their superhero during a candlelight vigil last night. They released hundreds of floating lanterns for fallen FWC officer Julian Keene. A gunman shot and killed him over the weekend in LaBelle. The Lee County chapter of the NAACP will meet with local law enforcement today. They'll discuss policies and procedures to make sure something like what happened to Rayshard Brooks in Atlanta does not happen here. The Lee County Sheriff, Sanibel Police, and State Attorney Amira Fox will all be there. A woman is accused of stabbing her own mother to death in Cape Coral. This morning, Mariah Kelly will face a judge for the first time for manslaughter charges. Police found Kelly's mother at a home along Southwest Embers Terrace with a stab wound. She died at the hospital yesterday. A man accused of beating a child to death is being held on a $500,000 bond. We've learned Yanir Velasquez Ojeda's charges increased because that toddler died. He's accused of beating her in Lehigh Acres last month. He now faces a second-degree murder charge. This morning, you can learn what NCH is doing to keep patients safe. The hospital is hosting a virtual town hall with CEO Paul Hiltz at 10 o'clock this morning. It is open to the public, and there's a link to the meeting on the Wink News app. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
A slow spot in Cape Coral on Veterans Parkway heading eastbound towards Santa Barbara. It doesn't last any longer than about a quarter mile. If you're heading towards that midpoint bridge, you're still pretty good to go right now heading east of Santa Barbara. Also in Fort Myers, traffic a little delayed on Cypress Lake heading west towards McGregor Boulevard, as well as a southbound slowdown on Summerlin Road heading towards Cypress Lake. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Thanks to an increase in tropical moisture from our south, expect a better chance of rain. We're back at it with our typical rainy season pattern. Scattered showers and storms in the forecast with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s to near 90 degrees. More scattered storms for your Friday all the way towards the weekend. Temperature-wise, we will be in the lower 90s, hot and humid towards Father's Day, with even hotter weather into next week with more chances for rain. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News. News and smart views.
It's open enrollment season, and MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that saves most families about $500 a month. Google MediShare and see if it's a fit for you.
Rock Solid knows you've sacrificed a lot during these difficult times, washing your hands often, social distancing, keeping your family and community safe. Please don't forget the virus and bacteria can remain on hard surfaces like your countertops. Rock Solid's experienced experts can deep clean, sanitize, and reseal your countertops, keeping your home or business truly safe. Book your Rock Solid special safety service right now by calling 596-7676 or on the web at rocksolidnaples.com. Be safe and stay healthy.
Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
True relief for back and neck pain.
Sitting at home with back or neck pain, lying in a recliner suffering with leg pain or weakness, out of shape from sciatica, stenosis, or neuropathy? Get relief and get your life back. Non-surgical spinal decompression. This is Dr. Johnson, D.C. at 596 Back. Spinal decompression is an ingenious, innovative treatment that has shattered doctors' traditional ways of treating back or neck problems. Doctors have been left scratching their heads. Finally, avoid needles, epidurals, and drugs. This treatment is also super comfortable. Patients of any age can be treated and doesn't involve any hanging upside down. It uses a relaxing, computerized table to gently remove pressure on spinal nerves and discs, relieving pain, numbness, or weakness. Call our Medicare-friendly office today for a free telephone consultation to find out how spinal decompression can help you. Johnston Spinal Care, 596 Back. 596-2225. That's 596-2225.
I'm Harvey Massey. Think about this for a moment. Pest control involves applying pesticides inside your home, whether needed or not. At Massey Services, we just don't do that. We prevent pests from getting inside your home so we won't have to control them later. Why settle for pest control when you can trust Massey's Pest Prevention? It's guaranteed or your money back. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I am so glad you're here today. 239-479-5592, the phone number and the text line. I think today is going to be a day where we are going to talk in detail, not necessarily about what the DA in Fulton County there in Atlanta, Georgia, District Attorney Paul Howard announcing that there were going to be felony murder charges against the policeman in the shooting of Rayshard Brooks last Friday. Not necessarily going into the details of the story again, and how 5 days afterwards, instead of allowing for the process to move slowly, to get information, to find out more about the details, to comb over video, to talk to officers, to talk to eyewitnesses, to kind of gauge what exactly was taking place at that moment, and to formulate something that would be a fair trial, fair jury, that we could get to this point where justice would be served and the process would be played out. That's not what happened yesterday. The DA decided that he was going to stand in front of a camera yesterday, and he was going to basically lay out the case, taint a jury, and let everybody know what he believed, what they believed in a prosecution, which, by the way, which would lead to a prosecution, which, by the way, the same charges that he was talking about yesterday, saying that Rayshard Brooks didn't pose a threat, pointing the officer's taser, the one that was forcibly taken from the officer and pointing and shooting at the officer, missing the officer, but that the same idea that Rayshard Brooks did not pose a threat to the officer is an interesting concept, considering that it was only, a month earlier that he charged a police officer earlier last month that because that officer pointed a taser at someone, because a taser is considered to be a deadly weapon under Georgia law. Are you following me here? The district attorney is telling you that we are going to have a felony murder charge against the police officer. And one of the cases he's making is antithetical to what he did a month earlier. And under Georgia law, you point a taser at someone, you fire a taser at someone, that taser is considered a deadly weapon. But in this case, what's different? And the thing that's different in this case, and ultimately, at the end of the day, what we're going to discover here is politics are at play. It feels like this is political. It almost feels like he wants to throw this case because you've got to prove all of this, everybody. You've got to make the case in front of a jury without a shadow of a doubt here that you have this. that the evidence would prove what you're charging. And if you charge too much, if you get too carried away with these charges, you're not going to be able to win this case. And it's almost as if this district attorney is doing this Is it possible, purposefully doing this? I don't know. We'll get into more details on that coming up, and then your thoughts. Also, John Bolton. John Bolton, who, if you've seen John Bolton, if you've heard John Bolton speak, someone who in the past praised the president of the United States on numerous occasions. Of course, everything is different when, I guess, you have a $2 million book deal, and the first person that you go to, John Bolton, John Bolton, the former NSA director, that John Bolton would not go to Fox News, would not go to Rush Limbaugh or Mark Levin or Sean Hannity or Dan Bongino or anybody like that. The first interview that John Bolton is going to have. Anybody want to guess? Anybody? You. How about you, Jake? In the dark. Is he going to, do you think he's going to go to Fox? Do you think he's going to go to a conservative outlet? Let's just say yes or no.
Probably not.
Probably not. He's going to ABC News. He's going to go to ABC and Martha Raddatz and sitting down. They already conducted the interview, so on Sunday you'll get to see it. I wonder what that's going to be like. Do you think it'll be pro-Trump? Because the book apparently isn't. We're going to get into some of the book and why John Bolton did this. What's the motivation? Because you have to have motivation in order to do this. You have to have the kind of motivation that would say to you that I don't remember in the history of the United States of America that somebody would write a tell-all book. Remember, just because John Bolton says it doesn't mean it's fact, doesn't mean you have to trust it, doesn't mean that that's actually what happened. I'm just putting that out there. But in order to do all this and still have the administration in office, when's the last time you heard of somebody writing a book and the administration, the people you're talking about, the things that you are getting ready to discuss in this book, whether you believe that there are American secrets in this book where there is classified information that's going to be disclosed, the fact that you're getting ready to talk about negatively the president of the United States and how he deals with others, like in this book about Xi in China, or whether it's any other leader and any of the things that he's going to get to talk about in this book. The fact that the president is still in office and that he would say these things, someone who is in a position to speak with the president directly, and the confidence that you give to an individual, somebody who is in the inside the walls of the White House, that person's still in office, and then you write a tell-all book, quote unquote, while they're in office. Who does that? Who does that? Is there that kind of TDS going on? Is there that kind of animus? Is he really that afraid of this president and the constitutional republic and everything falling apart? Or is there something more? Is it, what is it? Is it money? Is it power? Is it revenge? What is it? All right, so we'll get into to all of that. And the last thing I say last, but last of the three things that are on my mind this morning. I don't know how Jake's going to feel about this. Did you hear there's a group of a coalition of doctors that yesterday decided to make their way to Tallahassee because they want the governor to issue a statewide mandate that people wear masks in enclosed public spaces, citing rising daily coronavirus cases. That they want you wearing, and they want that you would wear a mask all the time, every place, everywhere, basically. Like mandating it. Like you don't have a choice, everybody. How you feel about that, Jake?
Sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Sick of it?
Sick of it. You know what I'm doing?
Turning the light on behind you so I can see you better. We go through this every morning.
I'm not the one who turns it down.
Well,
Ian.
just turn around and turn it on.
It's like 7 feet away.
Oh, gosh. All right. By the way, if you want to watch the nonsense, streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch, Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's, please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. And anytime you want to comment, 239-479-5592. That's the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line. What was it that Ian?
I was just going to say that we should break off and make our own little county, like Chaz over in wherever.
Oh.
We should just, make our own little Jake Land or Jake Town or something like right here.
So where would you do
Florida.
it? So where would you throw up these walls to keep people out?
Oh, we don't need walls. We got the ocean.
So maybe what's that island when you go over the Caloosahatchee?
Perfect.
Yeah, what is that?
Perfect.
For those that don't know, here in Southwest Florida, if you have driven over the Caloosahatchee, the US 41, the Caloosahatchee River, is it 75 or is it? Thank you for that. 75 or is it 41 when you drive
41?
over? It's 41 when you drive over the bridge, the overpass over the Caloosahatchee. There's that little island that's sitting out there by itself, and I forget what it's called, and I forget who owns it, and for some reason I want to say the county owns it, but
that's where we should put the bus.
Somebody knows. Look it up. Try to find out. Or if you know, 239-479-5592. Who knows what?
That one right here, right?
Yeah,
Is that
the one
you're
right
talking
down. It's
about?
right down the street. Maybe we make that Jake Land. And boats that would travel to go to Jake Land on this island. So what do you think, everybody? Should we do this? This group of doctors in Tallahassee, they're demanding that the governor say everybody has to wear a mask, period, end discussion. You're not allowed. Listen, it's about time, because with the rising numbers of coronavirus cases, everybody's got to wear a mask, because it is proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that when you wear a mask, you are stopping the virus in it. Oh, no, we actually don't. We actually don't have that kind of information, do we? We hear all kinds of things. You wear a mask, it's a great thing. You shouldn't wear a mask. Well, you realize that the mask is protecting only you. No, but the mask is protecting others because of the spittle or whatever comes out of your face. You shouldn't wear a mask because it hinders your breathing, and a lot of people are starting to wear masks all the time, and now they're getting respiratory issues because it's not. Listen, what's more important, your respiratory issues or my life? We go back and forth. Somebody said it's called Lofton Island. Is that what it is?
That's the one on the left side of the bridge.
It depends on which direction. If you're heading north.
North into North.
No, it's on the right-hand side of the bridge.
What? No, the one on the right side is Clint Island.
I don't know.
I'm so confused.
Anyway. And that's different from any other day because...
We'll just claim both of them. They're both Jake Land.
Okay. Both are going to be Jake Land from now on.
Mandatory mullets.
Somebody just texted and said, put the doctors on the island. All right, I'll tell you what. We'll give you Jake Land. How about that? We'll give you the island and all the doctors that are concerned about masks being mandated in public spaces. Wear your masks and go hang out on the island, and we'll call you up when everything is fine. Hey, that would be like right now. I mean...
Yesterday.
Is everything fine? Of course it's not. Are we having spikes in cases? Yes, we are. Are we making light of the fact that people have died from coronavirus? How dare you make... No, we're not making light of it. What we are doing is understanding a couple of things. Number one, the politicization of this virus. We all know that it's happening, number one. Number two, we see this spike in cases. And again, I can't emphasize this enough. It's not the spike in cases you should be concerned about. You should be concerned about hospitalizations. You should be looking at hospitals to see whether or not we are getting close to anywhere near the kind of capacity that we can't handle as Lee Health or Collier, their NCH, any of these systems cannot handle. And we're not anywhere near that, anywhere in the city of New York. At the peak of the cases in the city of New York, may I remind everybody that in the city of New York and even in the state, that the numbers are irrefutable because they're just facts. They're not conjecture or anything. These are facts, everybody, that the healthcare system never got higher than an 86% capacity. In other words, they didn't get 100% capacity of ICUs and beds that were needed in New York City. And we all recognize that because of the lack of use of the ships that were made into hospitals. Remember, they were brought to New York City. Of course, the mayor at the time probably putting that out, and the governor saying, "Oh, we need hospital beds. We need more beds, and bring a ship and convert a ship." And the president is like, "Okay, I'll convert a ship." He converted a ship. Yeah, it's out in the harbor. Are you serious? We don't need it anymore. Just a couple of things that are facts. So even at the peak, it wasn't 100 plus overcapacity in New York City. So again, we know things about the virus now we didn't know before. And there's some coronavirus stories out there as well we'll get to. I might ask you, though, what about this? About wearing masks? What are your thoughts here in the state of Florida? We've got doctors that are demanding it. All right, I guess we can get to that. This is what John's in Naples. He's ready to get to this right now. Hi, John.
Yes, sir. I love your show. Yeah, my point is I heard one of the doctors speaking on the television saying that the virus is the cases that they're seeing now of COVID are actually mitigating in severity. And he said, well, it's just simply biology because the viruses want to live. So if they destroy and kill their host very quickly, the virus can't spread. So they're doing exactly what viruses have done in the past, and they've lessened their severity. And then the other thing that gets to me is the fact that they don't correlate the fact that they see more COVID cases. In fact, probably a lot more of us have already been exposed, but they're not correlating that with, hey, this uptick in COVID testing is showing an increase in hospitalization and an increase, of death, COVID death in the hospitals. It's not happening. They're not correlating those facts.
Right. And that's what I've been talking about. And you make a great point, and I appreciate the call. Thanks so much, John, there in Naples, which is, look, it's not the fact that there's a spike in coronavirus cases does not coincide with a spike in a large, scary spike, if you will. Scary Spike. Wasn't that one of the girls in a singing group once? Scary Spike? Anyway, in cases at hospitals and ICU units that are being overwhelmed, we're not seeing that at all anywhere. It's just not happening. But that's where you need to look. And that is an important aspect to this. So, what about that? Mandating the wearing of masks. The doctors pointed to a study indicating that mask wearing yields a 6-fold reduction in a person's susceptibility for contracting the virus. More than a dozen states and 50 countries have implemented public mask mandates. Well, that's funny because I can probably talk about 2 or 3 different studies that I'm looking at. Let's see. I'm even looking at an Oxford study now that's telling us that there's no scientific evidence for the 6-foot rule. There's no scientific evidence for the 6-foot rule. I think I have another study that isn't far away. Here it is. Should we all be wearing face masks? Here's why experts are so conflicted. And I can give you conflicting stories of why we should and why we shouldn't. Even the WHO is like, listen, if you're over 60, if you're a healthcare worker, if you're a care provider, that you should be. But even they are backing off on the everybody mandate masks idea. So somebody said if you refuse to wear a mask on a commercial airliner, you'll be hauled away by the feds. Don't think the left won't make that happen everywhere. Well, I don't know that that's true about being hauled away by the feds, but I did see a video first thing this morning on Twitter with a passenger that was getting ready to get on a flight, and they did not wear a mask. They were told to get off the flight. People were complaining about the person being on the flight without the mask, and they did a 2-minute quick little Twitter video saying that they're going to reroute them and said it's okay that they didn't have to wear the mask when they were on board. And the guy was like, well, why didn't you say that while I was on board? What? And clearly it's like mob rules. If they want you to wear a mask, that you're going to have to do it. And there's a lot of pressure. But anyway, let's take a break because when we come back, some of the things that I want to get into is that when it comes to John Bolton, when it comes to the DA and the case in Atlanta, Georgia, against the officer and the killing of Rayshard Brooks, when it comes to the NFL, when it comes to politics, there's a lot going on here when it comes to the pressure of those on one side who are telling you that you have to do something, you do not have a choice, and if you don't, you not only will be canceled, but nobody will want to come after you. How many people want to be an officer right now? How many people want to train and become a police officer right now, this moment in time? How many people want to be a politician? Who wants to run? How crazy must you be to want to run for office right now? Or be part of a cabinet of a president of the United States? All right. We'll get to all that coming up. Stay bright, 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
This Fox Business Report is presented by Gulf Shore Business Magazine, online at gulfshorebusiness.com.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Hey everybody, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. Just to let you know that every once in a while I do the Between the Show, which is kind of like what we're doing right now. Just an opportunity to talk to you about what's coming up. Maybe even check out some of your messages, your comments on Facebook and on Twitter. Let's see. John Matthews was talking about the face masks. I don't believe the doctors really know anything about COVID, the flu. Well, they're doctors. Of course they know about the flu and COVID because they're doctors. Their doctors representing the Coalition of Physicians for Social Responsibility. You know, you might have a point there, John. Do we really know that these doctors are actually doctors who understand COVID? I mean, if they're doctors representing a coalition of physicians for social responsibility, they could be, I don't know, they could be a foot fungus doctor. Is there a foot fungus doctor? Does that exist? You might have a point there. You might have a point, John. Scott said that me and the wife flew to Montana during Memorial Day weekend, and once on the plane, masks were not enforced. See that? How about that? So there's that. By the way, where'd you go in Montana? I'm supposed to go to Montana, or I was supposed to go to Montana in a couple of months, and was quite honestly looking forward to the idea. I love the West. I love getting out to the Midwest and the West Coast and Montana, Wyoming, Utah. Love it. Love it. All right, let's see. Eric Wesley just says Bolton is a reprobate. Hey, I have to tell you, let's see. I'll give you a heads up. Coming up, I'm going to tell you a story about when I met John Bolton and I was with Mike Opelka. And you even heard on the radio, I think you heard on the radio, because it was live. No, was it live? Yes, it was live at CPAC. And what many forgot about what Mike Opelka said to John Bolton to his face. It was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life, but we'll have that coming up. Let's see. Rick says the mask issue is simply a testing compliance. They want to see how far they can push people into compliance. Starting to feel that way, isn't it? Starting to feel that way, everybody. Let's see. Eric wants to know, how did all other viral deaths decrease? Masks. Masks, Eric. It was masks. Everybody knows that throughout the history of time, it was masks. Maybe not even masks, maybe orange peels. Did you guys see that video? I wish I had that video available. Somebody on Twitter had a video, I'm not kidding, this is not a joke, in the Chaz or the Chop or the Chunk, I don't know, whatever they call it now. There was a girl that was arguing with some people that were in the Chop Chaz thing, and she didn't have a mask. She had an orange peel rind over her nose. And she was holding it like a mask, an orange peel. I'm not kidding. It's true. Yeah. Eric said, I know, Eric, I know you are. I know. All right. Apparently, Nada says good morning about 1,000 times. And so does Crypto. Okay, good to see you all. Hey, anytime you want to throw out a message. Oh, Lori says good morning. Good morning, Lori. Good to see you. Anytime you want to throw out a message, try to get them up during the show, try to get them up on the Between the show like we're doing right now. So it's always good to see you all here. And when we come back, we'll get more into the idea of mandating masks. I want to dig into the John Bolton issue a little deeper. The president was on with Hannity last night, had some interesting things to say. We'll get to that. The DA and what the DA is doing in Atlanta. A lot of big stories. All right, so stay there. Don't move. Not too far away. will be coming back. So stay and please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to do that here on YouTube. We appreciate it.
DeSantis to protect our jobs by passing E-Verify. Ray will continue to fight to ensure those in our country illegally will not find sanctuary in our state. When it came to protecting the right to life, no one was more pro-life than Ray Rodriguez. In Florida's Senate, Ray will continue the fight to protect the unborn. And when Donald Trump needed him the most, Ray was there. As one of Florida's members of the Electoral College, Ray stood strong against Hillary Clinton and the Democrats when they tried to steal the election by flipping electors. In the Florida Senate, Ray will always support President Trump and his plan to keep America great. Ray Rodriguez has always been a conservative we could count on. Now we need him in the Florida Senate. Paid by Ray Rodriguez, Republican, for the Florida Senate.
Rockstar Harley's giving 115% of Kelley Blue Book value when you trade for a new Harley now through Sunday. That's 115% of Kelley Blue Book trade value. It's worth more at Rockstar Harley.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and I have something important that I want to share with you about my good friends Kevin and Todd at AMCO of Bonita Springs. Look, they understand the last thing you need to worry about in 2020 is what to do and where to go when you're having car troubles, right? Their shops know a thing or two about hard times, especially since they opened in 2008. Remember, that was during a recession, and they've worked hard from day one and every day since to make sure they simply do the right thing when it comes to your auto or truck repair needs. Not only are Kevin, Todd, and the team great conservatives, but they're also very good at what they do when it comes to the maintenance and repairs that you need, whatever that may be. Because look, you rely on that vehicle each day to get you where you need to be. Not only do they do all things related to transmission work, but they even do brakes, air conditioning, check engine light diagnostic, tires, alignments. Look, you name it, they can handle it. Southwest Florida's come to know AMCO of Bonita Springs as the place you can trust with your car or truck. So give them a call, will you? 992-2626. That's 239-992-2626. And if it's your first time into the shop, make sure you let them know you heard it right here on 92.5 Fox News.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. One person is dead after a single car crash in Cape Coral this morning. Right now, we're working to find out how the crash happened and who died. It happened on Diplomat Parkway West near Santa Barbara Boulevard. All lanes are reopened. The LaBelle community honored their superhero during a candlelight vigil last night. They released hundreds of floating lanterns for fallen FWC officer Julian Keene. A gunman shot and killed him over the weekend in LaBelle. The Lee County chapter of the NAACP will meet with local law enforcement today. They'll discuss policies and procedures to make sure something like what happened to Rayshard Brooks in Atlanta does not happen here. The Lee County Sheriff, Sanibel Police, and State Attorney Amira Fox will all be there. A woman is accused of stabbing her own mother to death in Cape Coral. This morning, Mariah Kelly will face a judge for the first time for manslaughter charges. Police found Kelly's mother at a home along Southwest Embers Terrace with a stab wound. She died at the hospital yesterday. A man accused of beating a child to death is being held on a $500,000 bond. We've learned Yanir Velasquez Ojeda's charges increased because that toddler died. He's accused of beating her in Lehigh Acres last month. He now faces a second-degree murder charge. This morning, you can learn what NCH is doing to keep patients safe. The hospital is hosting a virtual town hall with CEO Paul Hiltz at 10 o'clock this morning. It is open to the public, and there's a link to the meeting on the Wink News app. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
A slow spot in Cape Coral on Veterans Parkway heading eastbound towards Santa Barbara. It doesn't last any longer than about a quarter mile. If you're heading towards that midpoint bridge, you're still pretty good to go right now heading east of Santa Barbara. Also in Fort Myers, traffic a little delayed on Cypress Lake heading west towards McGregor Boulevard, as well as a southbound slowdown on Summerlin Road heading towards Cypress Lake. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Thanks to an increase in tropical moisture from our south, expect a better chance of rain. We're back at it with our typical rainy season pattern. Scattered showers and storms in the forecast with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s to near 90 degrees. More scattered storms for your Friday all the way towards the weekend. Temperature-wise, we will be in the lower 90s, hot and humid towards Father's Day, with even hotter weather into next week with more chances for rain. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Drew Steele in the morning and Trey Radel in the afternoon. 2 doses of what cures liberalism. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. I have my friend TJ Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters in Naples, on the phone. And the selection, of course, at Floor Meisters is amazing. The cord tech that I have now in my home. TJ, I got to tell you, it is unbelievable. My wife over the moon. It's like, it's perfect. Even down to the installation. Everything was amazing, TJ.
Well, I'm glad your wife is very happy with it.
So am I.
It's softer, it's quieter, it's beautiful, real look of wood, everything your wife wanted, and you got it all taken care of for her.
And so talk about the selection that you have.
Right now we have 90 colors of Core-Tech in stock, ready to go pick up, put down as soon as you want it. Everything starting at $299 on up with lifetime warranty.
You have to love Core-Tech. You've got to love TJ and Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters. If you haven't been there, go there today. 6281 Naples Boulevard next to Costco. Now, whether it's carpet, tile, laminate, or hardwood flooring, they have it all. So give them a call, 239-596-4964, or on the web at floormeisters.com.
Hi, Michael Crothers, owner of Pure Air Conditioning. You might have seen our matte gray trucks with blue and white lettering on the road. Just know that in every truck you see, there's a certified technician who is trained to repair your system, not just sell you a system. As always, you can chat with us online at getpureair.com. Also, please join me every Saturday at 11:30 for the Get Pure Air radio show. I'll be talking about everything from air conditioning maintenance to troubleshooting tips.
One thing we've all learned from this devastating pandemic is that preparedness provides protection. Hurricane forecasters are calling for an above-average season this year. So now is the time to take steps to protect your home from Mother Nature's worst. Hi, I'm Keith from Storm Shield. Our mission at Storm Shield is to provide the very best storm protection available and to make the process as easy as possible. Don't take it from me, though. Listen to what our customers say or check out our testimonials online at stormshieldSWFL.com.
Yes, my name is Dwayne Channel. Storm Shield Windows, they were the only company that had the hurricane windows that we were looking for. Our best decision we made was purchasing Storm Shield windows.
Storm Shield's windows and doors reduce the exterior noise by up to 80%, and our clients typically see an average energy savings of 40%. Why choose Storm Shield? Because everyone deserves the best. Call us today at 239-491-7002 or visit stormshieldSWFL.com.
I'm Dr. William Fingelstaller. I'm running for Congress because America is at its greatest crossroads yet. The Democrat Party has transformed into a criminal enterprise that is destroying our country from within, trampling the Constitution, defunding our first responders, and wreaking havoc on our churches and businesses. I'm Dr. William Fingelstaller, and I approve this message because now is not the time to be sending weak leaders to Washington. In Congress, I will fight the radical left with everything I've got. You can count on it.
Paid for by William Finkelstaller for Congress.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Trade in and trade up. Over $500,000 in trade-in assistance up for grabs at Galliana Kia in Fort Myers. 2020 Kia Forte LXS lease. 0 down. $159 per month. 2020 Kia Sorrento LX lease. 0 down. $259 per month. Plus at Galliana Kia in Fort Myers, you can drive interest-free up to 72 months and worry-free for 100,000 miles. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. If you've got $500 down and you make at least $500 per week, our lenders can get you approved. At Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
36-month lease is 10,000 miles per year, 0 to signing plus tax, tag title, dealer and acquisition fee, 0 security deposit, $13.88 per month per thousand borrowed for 72 months, 0 APR with 0 down, lender approval.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. Hi, it's Drew Steele here with you this morning. So is Jake the Millennial. He's over there in the corner, sitting there patiently, just listening, doing his thing. He's bobbing to the music. He loves the bumper music, which is exciting. It's good to know that you're that involved with the program, that when the bumper music is playing, you're kind of either that or you're debating what you're going to do this weekend and where you're going to eat, and maybe it's is it a Father's Day thing? Did you know it was Father's Day weekend?
I mean, like, I knew it was coming.
You realize Christmas is coming too, right?
You know what? No one's getting anything from me this year.
Nobody's going to get anything for you this year?
From me or for me.
I was going to say, well, nobody's going to get anything for you because you're not a dad. But I know the animal thing. But some people are like, I'm a dad. I have a cat that I take care of every day.
Well, those people need to stop.
Okay. And then there are, getting something for dads, or I hope you've thought about this. If my wife is listening right now, I think I have an idea of what I would like. Are you ready? Check this out, everybody.
I like it smoked and I like it fried. I like it with eggs on the side. My love for bacon will never die. I want bacon, bacon, bacon.
Denny's, look at this. They've got a bacon bouquet. They're giving dads a bacon bouquet. What is a bacon bouquet? What would that look? Could you do that? Could you take bacon and make it into what resembles a bouquet? How would you eat a bouquet? Would you just take it with both hands and just kind of? How do you do that? So, bacon's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
No, okay. Jake's not on board with the whole bacon thing.
I love bacon, but it does taint your house for about a week.
No, it doesn't.
My house is small, so.
Well, what in the world are you doing? Is it splattering all over the walls?
Well, when I cook bacon, no, you cook it in the oven. You cook bacon in the oven so you don't make a mess.
No. The only reason, the biggest reason to buy an air fryer is to make bacon. Bacon in an air fryer may be the greatest gift to mankind ever created. I don't know who created the air fryer, but that person needs some kind of medal or a parade or something, because that is you never had bacon in an air fryer, have you?
I'm sure it's the same thing as an oven.
No. Oh no.
An air fryer is literally a $200
No. Let me tell you. First of all, you don't have to get the most expensive air fryer. You can buy one that's on the cheap. You can go wherever you buy inexpensive appliances. I'm just telling you, you don't have to have the best. And you will find no better way to create a bacon bouquet or whatever that is. Just telling you. Just putting that out there for the world. It's a great Father's Day gift.
Yeah, well, Drew's air fryer smells like bacon.
Yeah, it does. And your phone's ringing. 239-479-5592. That is the phone number and the text line on this Thursday, pre-Jake Day today. President of the United States was on with Hannity yesterday, and a couple of things he was talking about. Some interesting conversations, not just about his thoughts on the DA and some of the charges against the police officer in the Rayshard Brooks shooting and the killing of Rayshard Brooks, a felony murder charge, which is one that I'm not sure how in the world you're going to be able to convict on that charge. But they sure seemed like they were trying to taint the jury pool yesterday with the way that he was presenting the case to the public and having the family come out and everything, even before anything has happened, trials or anything. How do you do that? Well, we'll get to it in just a second. What the president said. Also, the president on John Bolton. For those that don't know, John Bolton has this, I guess, tell-all book about the president. Because, when a president is in office, there's no better time than to put out a book, to release a book that will tell all about how what he says is the truth about what this president is doing with regard to national security and the relationships with other countries. Because, nothing says safety and security like letting the world know what the president thinks of other people and other countries and how he is operating and the kind of behind the scenes thing. No, it doesn't. It's awful. President knows that. And he was talking about how, look, even the DOJ and Bill Barr is concerned about this. You can't do this. If there's information in this book that's already out now, it's too late. It's already out there. It's getting leaked all over the place. Is there classified information in there?
They broke the law. Very simple. I mean, as much as it's going to be broken, this is highly classified. That's the highest stage. It's highly classified information, and he did not have approval. That's come out now very loud and very strong.
He didn't have approval to do this, did not, and he did it anyway. And I guess the money speaks. And what the hatred for this president as well. Ever tell you the story about my contact with John Bolton a few years back at CPAC? And look, by the way, let me put this out on the record so everybody understands this. There were a lot of people that wanted to see John Bolton in as part of the administration and helping the president. There were a lot of people that were encouraging the president to hire John Bolton. I was one of those people. There were others that you're going to hear on this network, on this station, and on the Fox News network that if they will admit it, we're looking forward to seeing John Bolton be part of this administration. Well, do you call it a mistake? You say you didn't know? Didn't think he would ever do anything like this? If anything, if you had a problem with the president, you just zip. And then if you have something to say, you make the millions of dollars later when the president is out of office, not to harm national security. Unless, of course, you don't care about that. You care more about going after the president, which is an awful way to think. But Mike Opelka, it's even uncomfortable to talk about. Jake, do you know or have you ever seen the Lorax?
I think so, yeah. Disney thing, right?
I don't know if it's Disney. I think it's actually...
Dr. Seuss?
Yeah, it's like it's the Universal, I think, did it. I don't know who actually created it, but it wasn't Disney. It was the opposite.
It was...
Who did it? The other the companies that do like the little yellow guys, the mini...
Pixar.
No, not
Nickelodeon.
Anyway, the Lorax. Look at the Lorax.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if you typed in the Lorax and John Bolton, you would probably see side-by-sides of the Lorax and John Bolton. I don't have that hand. Okay. Yeah. You see that?
That's good right there.
Okay, look, I hate telling everybody this, but it's on the record, and there's nothing I can do. Mike Opelka was sitting in front of John Bolton with us at CPAC a few years ago, and live on these airwaves asked John Bolton, he said, have you ever seen the Lorax?
I could just see it in
and
Mike's
he
voice.
said, I was never more uncomfortable in my whole life than that moment. And he said, has anybody ever told you you look like the Lorax? He said it to John Bolton's face. And I was never more mortified in my whole life than that moment. And I should have Mike Opelka on this program to describe that moment because, he doesn't care. And he was just like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And as he left, Mike Opelka's like, yeah, he doesn't. I'm like, right, he doesn't. Anyway, it's not really nice. But it's out there. But there's the other part of this, the serious part. And it was Kellyanne Conway who talked about it yesterday.
The Attorney General also said, it's pretty unusual to have a memoir like this while the people you're talking about are still in office and your colleagues are still working in the administration. The name of the book is The Room Where It Happened. So Ambassador Bolton himself makes clear that he was in the Oval Office. He was in the Situation Room. He had a lot of access to the president.
He was in the Situation Room. He was everywhere where the president needed him to be, and the trust that the president had in him to be in these places specifically, to be part of this administration, to write a book with the president still in office, to say all of these things. What does that say about John Bolton personally to do this? Does it put the country at risk and the safety and security of the American people at risk to let everybody know what may not even be the facts? It may be John Bolton's facts from his brain and the $2 million check on his table for the book, whatever the number was, I don't know. Just because he says it doesn't mean it's true, does it? We've seen that happen before against the president. But I wonder if this is the bigger question. Who's going to want to run for office when they know all of these things could happen to them? Who's going to want to run for office if they believe that every bit of dirty laundry is going to come out on them during a campaign, during their time in office, with people that you supposedly bring in and you trust because you may ultimately make them upset enough to leave and write a tell-all book, which doesn't even have to be a tell-all. It could be a lie-all. It could be a exaggerated all. It could be stretching the truth all. It could be adding a word here and there to make it sound like it's really something awful all. Who's going to want to do this anymore? How are we going to vet people in the future? Remember something that, politically speaking, that is apparent to everybody when they take a second to think about it, and it's this. And people have said this before. You ever notice you never had those problems with Barack Obama? You ever notice that you never had a moment in time where somebody, while the president was in office, wrote a tell-all book about all the awful things that the former president of the United States was doing? You ever notice how there weren't those kind of leaks or even afterwards and the people that would kind of tell on him? Why is that? Why is it only this president has this precedent set? And even Republicans and what they've done to each other. But yet, somehow for the left, it doesn't work that way. Wonder why that is. Ever think about that? Well, maybe we'll talk about the answer as to why that happens coming up. All right, 239-479-5592. That is the phone number in the text line, the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line, streaming live on YouTube. Please watch. You just go to YouTube and type in Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's, and then you can subscribe somewhere on the screen. It's in the corner. And we appreciate that. Thank you. All right, let's go to traffic right now. Up to the minute. Here's Sabrina Katz.
A crash on the East Trail just near Barefoot Williams Road is slowing traffic eastbound on Tamiami, heading east towards Barefoot Williams. Also, congestion building on Collier Boulevard, heading south towards Rattlesnake Hammock, as well as a slight delay on Livingston just near Radio Road. Nothing that should hold you up too much. And my commuters heading off of I-75 onto Immokalee Road. A very nice commute all the way to 41. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink.
The show within a show while we're on a break. Every once in a while, I feel like doing this. By the way, okay, so just to get to some of your comments from Facebook or YouTube that I see that are popping up on the screen. Catherine says she's going to try that tonight. You're going to try that air frying bacon. There's nothing better in the world than air fried bacon. It's the best. I am guaranteeing you. I would say I put my reputation on it, but to put your reputation on bacon, cooked bacon, is that would be pretty sad. So, Catherine, you try that tonight. You should try that this morning. Why wait? Why wait till tonight? Air fry your bacon now. Just do it now. We'll do it live. You'll say you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed at all. Eric said big mistake a bunch of times. I don't know what that means. I guess he's talking about John Bolton. I'm just making sure it's not air frying bacon, because that's not a mistake at all. Henry, good morning. Good morning, Henry. Good to see you there on Facebook. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. And anytime you want to comment, just go ahead and do that either on YouTube or on Facebook. And either way, we'll get a chance to talk to you on the breaks, which we enjoy doing. Boy, Eric, you are just texting and you're commenting a whole lot, and you're repeating yourself. Why are you doing that? Is it you've said the same thing about 10 times and you've repeated it? I see you. I see you. I see you there, Eric. All right, he's emotional this morning. All right, good times. All right, we're gonna go to break, and there's Jake. Okay, just so you know. All right, we'll be back in a minute.
Just because you can write does not qualify you to be a best-selling author. And the same logic applies to identity theft protection. You may be good at monitoring your credit, but that doesn't make you an authority on identity theft. Data breaches, your personal information gets in the wrong hands. This becomes complicated stuff. Cyber criminals commit identity theft every day. Now, on your own, you could miss certain identity threats, like somebody taking out a payday loan in your name, for instance, or your information stolen as part of a data breach put out there on the dark web for other cyber bad guys to use for their own selfish gain. Now, no one can prevent all identity theft, but let me tell you, LifeLock has the tools and the know-how to help you like no other. Join now. Save up to 25% off your first year. Just go to LifeLock.com, promo code RUSH. That's it. LifeLock.com, promo code RUSH, 25% off.
92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News.
Eating dinner in your underwear? Hey, put some clothes on. Taking cold showers every hour? Or pitching a tent in front of your refrigerator to stay cool. These are things you can do to beat the heat in your home.
And due to these difficult times, we have extended our no diagnostic fees, no trip charges, no strings. Visit FloridaCoolToday.com to schedule. Carrier turn to the experts.
Attention, Southwest Florida. Are you ready for this? Only Naples Nissan will give you $8,000 over Kelley Blue Book value for your trade-in. Hundreds of new SUV models to choose from, all backed by our exclusive unlimited mile lifetime warranty. Pick out your favorite at NaplesNissan.com. Then come see us on Pine Ridge Road to find out the KBB.com current market value for your trade-in. We'll give you $8,000 more so you can drive that brand new Nissan home today. If KBB says it's worth $5,000, Naples Nissan will give you $13,000. If KBB says 10, we'll give you 18. You must act fast, though. Visit NaplesNissan.com for full details. Offer on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News 239-479-5592. Streaming live on YouTube. Anytime you want to watch, just go to Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. And subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate that. Hey, you know, the president was on with Hannity last night and said some interesting things about Colin Kaepernick, something that he has said in the past that for some reason today, waking up this morning, people are shocked, surprised. I can't believe he said that about Colin Kaepernick. No, he's been saying it all along. And so we'll talk about that coming up. Again, the DOJ that is seeking an injunction to block the release of John Bolton's book, although forget it now, it's being whispered and released all over the place. We'll get to that and more. Plus, mandatory masks in the state of Florida. Is that coming?
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hearing about a lot of chlorine, everybody. Hearing a lot of chlorine and water around Southwest Florida. Max, my buddy over at Pelican Water Systems, is saying, seems like there's an uptick in the amount of chlorine in your water. Is that you? Is your chlorine smell in your water just driving you crazy? Maybe the chemicals? Maybe the fact that your family's drinking it, you're showering in it. Enough. Just go ahead and call them. Call Max. Schedule your free, no-obligation Pelican water test right now. They don't have to come in your home to test the water. They have a zero-contact option, and you can see exactly what's in your water, right? You might not even like what you find. But look, with a Pelican Water System, city or well water, you're going to love the way now that your water tastes. Your family's going to love it as well. Both salt and salt-free systems, so you're going to love not lugging in those bags of salt. And of course, you're going to love not hassling with buying bottled water, right? So for your free zero-contact Pelican water test, give Max a call. 239-880-7799. Tell him Drew Steele told you to call. 239-880-7799. Look, there's never any pressure. You can schedule online at PelicanWestFL.com.
Decorating a light switch cover? That's a do-it-yourself. Rewiring the light switch? That's a don't do-it-yourself. Don't take chances. Call your locally owned Mr. Sparky for any electrical repair. We always leave your home safer than we found it, and Mr. Sparky's straightforward pricing means no surprises.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Tee off and swing into summer at Coral Oaks Golf Course in Cape Coral. Come out and enjoy our excellent playing surfaces, beautiful natural surroundings, GPS golf carts, and low summer rates. Play 18 holes every day for just $35 before noon, $30 afternoon, and $25 after 2 p.m. all summer long. You can book tee times up to 7 days in advance at coraloaksgolf.com. We'll see you at Coral Oaks, where every day is a great day.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. One person is dead after a single car crash in Cape Coral this morning. Right now, we're working to find out how the crash happened and who died. It happened on Diplomat Parkway West near Santa Barbara Boulevard. All lanes are reopened. The LaBelle community honored their superhero during a candlelight vigil last night. They released hundreds of floating lanterns for fallen FWC officer Julian Keene. A gunman shot and killed him over the weekend in LaBelle. The Lee County chapter of the NAACP will meet with local law enforcement today. They'll discuss policies and procedures to make sure something like what happened to Rayshard Brooks in Atlanta does not happen here. The Lee County Sheriff, Sanibel Police, and State Attorney Amira Fox will all be there. A woman is accused of stabbing her own mother to death in Cape Coral. This morning, Mariah Kelly will face a judge for the first time for manslaughter charges. Police found Kelly's mother at a home along Southwest Embers Terrace with a stab wound. She died at the hospital yesterday. A man accused of beating a child to death is being held on a $500,000 bond. We've learned Yanir Velasquez Ojeda's charges increased because that toddler died. He's accused of beating her in Lehigh Acres last month. He now faces a second-degree murder charge. This morning, you can learn what NCH is doing to keep patients safe. The hospital is hosting a virtual town hall with CEO Paul Hiltz at 10 o'clock this morning. It is open to the public, and there's a link to the meeting on the Wink News app. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
A crash on the East Trail just near Barefoot Williams Road is slowing traffic eastbound on Tamiami, heading east towards Barefoot Williams. Also, congestion building on Collier Boulevard heading south towards Rattlesnake Hammock, as well as a slight delay on Livingston just near Radio Road. Nothing that should hold you up too much. And my commuters heading off of I-75 onto Immokalee Road. A very nice commute all the way to 41. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Thanks to an increase in tropical moisture from our south, expect a better chance of rain. We're back at it with our typical rainy season pattern. Scattered showers and storms in the forecast with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s to near 90 degrees. More scattered storms for your Friday all the way towards the weekend. Temperature-wise, we will be in the lower 90s, hot and humid towards Father's Day, with even hotter weather into next week with more chances for rain. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, always on time, or you don't pay a dime. Please visit us at www.onehourairnaples.com or call 844-1 Hour.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
See a 2017 Chevy Traverse with only 15,000 miles, a 2019 Cadillac XT5 with 19,000 miles, and a 2009 Dodge Caliber with only 4,000 miles. Over 300 vehicles. Visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
I'm Casey Askar. More immigrants come to America than any other nation on earth. But with a deadly virus spreading across the globe and millions of Americans unemployed, our borders have to be secure. That's why President Trump's order suspending immigration is essential. This pandemic proves just how important borders are. I'm Casey Askar, and I approve this message. I'll help the president finish the wall and control the border once and for all.
Paid for by Casey Asker for Congress.
True relief for back and neck pain. At Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, if you're suffering with a spinal-related problem, pain, numbness, or weakness, through the use of spinal decompression therapy, we've helped hundreds and hundreds of local residents return to a pain-free, productive life. People who once suffered from stenosis, sciatica, bulging, or herniated discs and thought there was no solution are now living pain-free. Spinal decompression is relaxing and painless, while it gently eases pressure off painful nerves and spinal discs. No pain, no needles, and no surgery. I've successfully been using spinal decompression in Southwest Florida for over 13 years, and the results are only getting better. Take your life back. Call our Medicare-friendly office today for a free telephone consultation to find out how spinal decompression can help you. Johnston Spinal Care, 596-BACK, 596-2225. That's 596-2225.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason. Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing cost program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000, that's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew, Steve.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. There's the phone number in the text line. We get a couple of minutes with Edmund Brown. Fox News Radio is joining us right now as we speak. He even has a chyron to prove it on our YouTube channel. Just go to Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's, and please subscribe to the channel. You can watch. We can watch and learn. Watch and learn, my friends. That was kind of weird. Sorry. Hi, Eben.
Hi. Jeez, all right there?
Yeah.
Don't hurt yourself.
I'm excited today. It's I don't really know. I don't really know why. Maybe it's just looking forward to the weekend and Father's Day weekend, which is always great in the Steele household. We always have a wonderful time. Unfortunately, a lot of people are talking about what you are talking about this morning, which is the number of cases, the coronavirus cases here in the state of Florida, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, we're seeing what could best be described as a surge of coronavirus cases in Florida. We've been seeing thousands of cases a day, well over 1,000 statewide. Often it's been 2,000 or higher, and that's got people outside of our state telling our state once again what we should be doing about it.
Right.
We have a governor who has said that we're not going to stop the reopening. We're probably not going to reverse course in any way, at least on a statewide level. Now, from where I'm sitting this morning in South Florida, Southeast Florida, if I'm more specific, but we call it South Florida to the rest of the nation because they don't know geography anyway. So the mayor in Miami and the mayor in Miami Beach have said, all right, we're not going to proceed just yet to phase 3, and if this continues to trend this way, we might have to do some closures here. Now, Southeast Florida has been where most of the cases have been all these months, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so perhaps maybe allowing the local communities to make decisions about what they should do, depending on what they feel comfortable doing and what they think they need, is a better idea than a blanket decree for the state.
Yeah.
Because quite frankly, what happens in Miami doesn't affect Pensacola much.
Yeah, and I think that was evident
People aren't commuting that route,
right? And I think that was evident early on with the phases, and not only that, but the way that we were looking at specific areas. I think the governor was even pointing out early on in the pandemic the fact that the hot spots were recognized. We knew where those hot spots. We knew South Florida as those who are geographically inclined to speak incorrectly about a blanket statement about Florida is that same fact. So. The idea that in certain hotspots we may have to examine, keep an eye on things. I hear your phone ringing. I know you're busy, my friend. I know you got to run. I just wanted to touch on this topic, and then we'll have you back. We'll do more in depth on this coming up. Okay.
All right, my brother. Take care.
I'll see you soon. All the best. All right. I know. I hear the phone ringing, and he's busy. Evan Brown, Fox News Radio, talking about the uptick in cases. And again, we brought up the fact that early on, as we understand where the hot spots are. Look. If the mayor of the city is going to do it, we just want to make sure that in Miami, if that is the plan to start closing things down, I would hope that the evidence would prove that that is necessary as opposed to pressure politically to do it. Because that's probably how it's going down. I mean, if we're going to be honest, that's how it's going down. It's going down as political pressure. The governor's getting political pressure. Look, he's getting political pressure like we talked about earlier, and maybe you want to comment on this, 239-479-5592. Doctors representing the Coalition Physicians for Social Responsibility gathering outside the governor's mansion, pressing the governor to take action in the name of saving lives. Mandatory masks in the state of Florida. Now, you may be saying, well, what's the evidence? They're saying there's studies indicating that mask wearing yields a 6-fold reduction in a person's susceptibility. I'm looking at studies right now that prove quite the opposite. That there is nothing to be said about that way. That when you look at some of the studies, the experts are conflicted. Even the World Health Organization has been changing their mind constantly on this. The current best evidence suggests wearing a mask to avoid viral respiratory infections such as COVID-19 offers minimal protection, if any. I'm looking at a study. So, look, we could pick and choose the studies that we want all the time. And a lot of things in life, that's what we end up doing, whatever it is that wants to move and advance our belief and our objectives. I'm just looking to get to the facts and the truth. That's all I care about. Look, if there is definitive evidence across the board, nobody is denying it, and there's nothing that would suggest the otherwise. If there was evidence that would suggest clearly that wearing a mask makes that big of a difference, we might have this discussion. But it's not out there. But yet there are people that are pressuring the governor politically to make a move. Why? And you know what the motivation is. You know how it works. We all know how politically motivated people can be. Look, if you want to talk about political motivation specifically, let's go there. The DA right now in Georgia. What's going on here? The Fulton County District Attorney, Paul Howard, announcing that the police officer who killed Rayshard Brooks last week was being charged with felony murder, and that Brooks did not pose a threat to the officer. Even though he fired a taser at the officer, I want you to keep that in mind because Ryan Saavedra at Daily Wire, and you can read this story there, that was talking about this specifically because there's another instance where the DA made quite the opposite decision on somebody pointing a taser and what Georgia law states about pointing a taser at somebody, which he did. So what's going on here? What the outgoing Atlanta district attorney, people say that he is outgoing. He's in a political fight right now. It looks like he is going to lose big. That has been the discussion about this district attorney. The guys at the Conservative Treehouse, a great website, were making the case that we should examine this a little deeper. I mean, is he setting the future district attorney up for big problems, failure? I mean, 11 counts, including felony murder. And if you listen to what the district attorney said yesterday, a couple of points that he made. He's trying to go through the list of the things that this officer did wrong, making the case for Rayshard Brooks.
The demeanor of the officers immediately after the shooting did not reflect any fear or danger of Mr. Brooks, but their actions really reflected other kinds of emotions.
Other kinds of emotions. The DA, in talking about the charges, is talking about the officer's demeanor. And then he says,
but their actions really reflected other kinds of emotions.
Really, what other kinds of emotions, District Attorney? Do you see what he's doing here? Do you see how you could taint a jury pool by suggesting in a press conference that the motive there was something other than you might imagine? Or maybe you do imagine, if you know what I'm saying. What?
Other kinds of emotions.
Other kinds of emotions, really. I'm not sure. Is it race that he's talking about? I mean, I'm just asking. Really? So he's talking about the officer's demeanor because, this is why he did it? What else does he say?
Officer Roth actually kicked Mr. Brooks while he laid on the ground, while he was there fighting for his life.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Somebody said that, but there's no evidence to prove that at all. Again, tainting a jury pool, but making that suggestion. A DA making that suggestion to an audience who is listening worldwide, to people in that room, in Fulton County, in Georgia. Quite the opposite. As a matter of fact, it was the Daily Mail, of all places, the very liberal Daily Mail, who showed something that the DA didn't bring up. Showed something. Like, actually, you can see it. Not hearsay, not somebody's opinion of what they thought that the officer was doing, but actual evidence, video evidence, that showed that the fired officer who shot Rayshard Brooks begged him to stay alive, desperately administering CPR. The body cam footage showed that. The body cam footage that everybody wants of police officers, unless, of course, it doesn't help your case, then we don't get to see the body cam footage a la George Floyd, all of it. Why would they hold that back? That doesn't sound like somebody desperately administering CPR. That doesn't sound like somebody who's kicking somebody. But then he says something else.
The possible sentences for a felony murder conviction would be life without parole, or the death penalty.
The death penalty. Are you following this? So, the Fulton County, Georgia District Attorney Paul Howard, in a press conference, not only laid out what he thought was the demeanor of the officers and how maybe they had some other kind of motivation going on, not only talked about hearsay from people that you could actually see on body cam footage and video footage did not happen, kicking him while he was on the ground, but putting that out there anyway, is going to charge 11 counts, including felony murder, that brings with it the possibility of a death penalty charge. Death penalty for the officer. I'm bringing this up for a lot of reasons, because like the guys at the conservative treehouse were saying, are you setting this up for failure? Like, this is all unusual. You talk about this, you lay the case out, we don't even go to trial yet, and already you're talking about the guilt of this officer as if it's a given. That we're going to try this in the court of public opinion as opposed to a jury trial. A jury now that it's going to be hard to not have tainted by the comments of this DA. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation didn't even know the press conference was going to be held. And they haven't even completed the investigation yet. They had no idea the DA was going to file charges. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation was not aware of today's press conference before it was conducted. We were not consulted on the charges filed by the district attorney. Like, what is this? Is this like a political trap for the next person that's coming in? Are you setting this up for failure right out of the gate? How do you do this? And then the bottom line, everybody. Who's going to want to do this? If you're somebody who has been thinking about becoming a police officer, if you're somebody who for generations, your dad, your grandfather, the way you care about your community, the way you want to serve your community this way, you want to serve your community by becoming a police officer, your family, your father, your grandfather did it before you, and now you have district attorneys that are doing and putting charges against officers like this. Clearly, when you can see the video and the struggle and the taking of the taser from the officer and then shooting it at the officer, which, by the way, the district attorney fails to tell you that he charged a police officer earlier in the month for pointing a taser at someone because the taser is considered to be a deadly weapon under Georgia law. Deadly weapon. So Rayshard Brooks had a deadly weapon that he shot at an officer. They don't tell you that part. Who's going to want to do this? And where we are so busy talking about defunding police, dismantling police departments, here's the one thing we're not talking about. The effects that this is having on officers around the country, the morale of officers around the country, and how there are officers that will not do this. They won't want to do this. We're already seeing evidence of that, and I'll prove that coming up on CNN of all places. Sometimes you think that that's the point as well. They just won't want to do it. We won't have to defund or dismantle. They'll do it themselves. All right, let's find out what's happening with traffic. By the way, anytime you want to watch on YouTube, streaming live, Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's, please subscribe. We appreciate it. Sabrina Katz has your traffic.
A crash at Three Oaks and Coconut Road is slowing traffic for about 1 mile southbound on Three Oaks, a very congested area right now, a place to avoid. So go ahead and hop on US 41 if you're looking for the fastest alternate. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Our rainy season pattern is back as we go throughout your Thursday. Increase in tropical moisture will help to bump up our chances for rain. Scattered showers and storms in the forecast with temperatures near 88. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News, the conservative, smart, right voice of Southwest Florida.
I'm Mike Gillimbardo. I'm running to represent you in Florida's House of Representatives. I grew up right here in Cape Coral. It's where I went to school, learned to play football, and it's the place I called home while fighting in Operation Iraqi Freedom. Now, it's where I'm raising my family and operating my businesses. President Trump and our freedoms are under attack, and we need strong conservatives in Tallahassee. I fought for you on the battlefield. Now I'm ready to fight for you in Florida's capital. My faith in God and belief in individual liberties have always been a guiding force in my life. Whether on the battlefields of Iraq or fighting for our conservative values at home, I'm passionate about protecting our way of life. My name is Mike Gillimbardo. I'm a husband, father, combat veteran, and business owner. I'm running for the Florida House to fight for our Constitution, to defend our borders, and to stand with President Donald Trump to rebuild the greatest economy in the history of our nation. I'm Mike Gillimbardo, and I'm asking for your vote. Paid by Mike Gillimbardo, Republican, for the Florida House.
Two magical things come from Milwaukee: beer and power tools. Milwaukee is the beer capital of the world, and Northern Tool is the capital of Milwaukee power tools. If you need to drill, saw, hammer, grind, or screw something in right, Northern Tool has the right Milwaukee power tool for you at the lowest price. Get yours at Northern Tool and Equipment and northerntool.com. Cheers to you, Northern Tool. Northern Tool and Equipment. Quality tools for serious work.
Hey, this is Papa with Casey, Carrie, and Cody. And as most of you know, when Irma hit in September of 2017, thousands of people tried unsuccessfully to call a roofing company, but all the roofers were so overwhelmed they could not handle or even answer those calls. Now here we are, almost 3 years later, and many of those same people are still waiting to have their roofs repaired. So, we are implementing our proactive list. If you want to be on our list, call me for our free tolerance inspection. Once we inspect your roof, you will be on the proactive list. If or when the next storm hits, you will have no need to call any roofer because we will be calling you automatically to see if you need help. We can offer emergency repairs and tarp service or whatever your roof requires. Call Papa now for our free tolerance inspection, 945-2700. We believe it's wise to be proactive and it costs you nothing to join our list. Call Papa for our free tolerance inspection at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. License number CCC 1331790.
Attention, Southwest Florida. Are you ready for this? Only Naples Nissan will give you $8,000 over Kelley Blue Book value for your trade-in. Hundreds of new SUV models to choose from, all backed by our exclusive unlimited mile lifetime warranty. Pick out your favorite at naplesnissan.com. Then come see us on Pine Ridge Road to find out the KBB.com current market value for your trade-in. We'll give you $8,000 more so you can drive that brand new Nissan home today. If KBB says it's worth $5,000, Naples Nissan will give you $13,000. If KBB says $10,000, we'll give you $18,000. You must act fast though. Visit naplesnissan.com for full details. Offer on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Eating dinner in your underwear?
Honey, put some clothes on.
Taking cold showers every hour? Or pitching a tent in front of your refrigerator to stay cool. These are things you can do to beat the heat in your home.
And due to these difficult times, we have extended our no diagnostic fees, no trip charges, no strings. Visit FloridaCoolToday.com to schedule. Carrier, turn to the experts.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, streaming live on YouTube. Just watch Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's, and somebody said, Steele with 3 E's, is this S-T-E-E-E-L? No, it's S-T-E-E-L-E, and there's an E on the end of Steele. Maybe we should put it that way instead of 3 E's. Steele with an E on the end? Is that better? Steele with an E on the end? Jake like that.
I think you just solved the problem, sir.
All right, I didn't know it was a problem. Apparently,
because people are always asking.
Yeah, just looking at some of the text coming in. When we come back, I'm looking at the time. When we come back, we will talk more about John Bolton and what the president thinks about what John Bolton is doing with this book. He also said a couple of things about the NFL and Colin Kaepernick, and we're going to get to some of that because he's been saying it all along. And it's almost as if people are shocked, I tell you, by what the president said yesterday on Hannity. Really? All right, we'll get to that coming up, what he said, and your thoughts as well. Stay break.
This is Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
Your local 1-hour air conditioning and heating team is open and ready to serve you. AC isn't a luxury, but rather is...
Hey, oh, whoa. Okay, it's the show within the show within the show. This is the show that you get to see here on YouTube if you are watching us streaming live and even on Facebook as we bring this to you each and every day. And anytime you want to comment, we're always keeping an eye on the comments. What I'm trying to figure out is, for some reason today, as I'm looking at the comments, the comments are. I can't do the comments today because for some reason they keep repeating over and over and over and over and over again. Like the same thing from the same people. I don't know what's going on. It's like something happened to the comment section today. You post once and it posts 1,000 times. I don't know why.
But anyway, let's see. So we're looking at some of the comments being made here. Okay, all right. We go. There are more people that are talking about my comments on air frying bacon, which I'm just telling you, do it today. You'll be glad you tried it. It's an amazing thing, air frying bacon. And just a little bit, we're also. Did you see that? Somebody just texted Steele, Steale. Maybe I should just, Jake, maybe I should just change my last name. I'll just change it to A. Drew A. Unless there's a musical artist that's called Drew A. Then I'd be in trouble. Yeah, you see what I did there. All right. I'm looking at some of the comments. I got to fix the comment section that I'm getting here. All right. Well, we'll come back in just a bit.
Murder charges against the officer who fatally shot Rayshard Brooks. Former officer Garrett Rolfe is facing 11 counts. This includes felony murder. Officer Devin Bronston charged with aggravated assault. Bronston's lawyer saying his client will not be a state's witness in the case and called the DA's decision to file charges a rush to misjudgment. Fox has Rayshard Brooks. Both men have until 6 this evening to turn themselves in. And a World War II hero has died.
Their name became a symbol of hope in Britain during World War II.
And I know we'll meet again some sunny day.
The singer's family announcing her death at age 103.
Fox's Simon Owen spent years during the war entertaining troops performing in hospitals and army camps. America's listening to Fox News. This week news update is presented by Stadium Dry Cleaners. Online at stadiumdrycleaners.com.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Lindsay Simon with Wink News. One person is dead after a single car crash in Cape Coral this morning. Right now we're working to find out how the crash happened and who died. It happened on Diplomat Parkway West near Santa Barbara Boulevard. All lanes are reopened. The LaBelle community honored their superhero during a candlelight vigil last night. They released hundreds of floating lanterns for fallen FWC officer Julian Keene. A gunman shot and killed him over the weekend in LaBelle. The Lee County chapter of the NAACP will meet with local law enforcement today. They'll discuss policies and procedures to make sure something like what happened to Rayshard Brooks in Atlanta does not happen here. The Lee County Sheriff, Sanibel Police, and State Attorney Amira Fox will all be there. A woman is accused of stabbing her own mother to death in Cape Coral. This morning, Mariah Kelly will face a judge for the first time for manslaughter charges. Police found Kelly's...
When you have depression, it can plunge you into deep, dark lows and can leave you feeling extremely sad and disinterested, overwhelmed by bipolar.
He now faces a second-degree murder charge. This morning, you can learn what NCH is doing to keep patients safe. The hospital is hosting a virtual town hall with CEO Paul Hiltz at 10 o'clock this morning. It is open to the public, and there's a link to the meeting on the Wink News app. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
A crash at Three Oaks and Coconut Road is slowing traffic for about 1 mile southbound on Three Oaks. A very congested area right now, a place to avoid. So go ahead and hop on US 41 if you're looking for the fastest alternate. That drove to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Thanks to an increase in tropical moisture from our south, expect a better chance of rain. We're back at it with our typical rainy season pattern. Scattered showers and storms in the forecast with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s to near 90 degrees. More scattered storms through Friday all the way towards the weekend. Temperature-wise, we will be in the lower 90s, hot and humid towards Father's Day, with even hotter weather into next week with more chances for rain. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while
Massey Services, we know every lawn is unique and requires customized care. That's why our environmental approach includes aeration, which allows water and nutrients to reach the roots of your lawn, as well as an irrigation program which ensures
Can you give me just one more? Just one.
with Massey's Green Up program, you'll enjoy a healthy and a beautiful lawn year-round. That's Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Maybe not. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, streaming live on YouTube. Drew Steele Radio, Steele. I'll spell it out for you, Drew Steele Radio. And please subscribe while you're there. We do appreciate it. Coming up, Drew's College Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. That's on the way in about 15 more minutes or so. 10, 15 more minutes. Yeah, okay. So that's coming up. A couple of things that the president was talking about yesterday that I wanted to bring up. He was on Sean Hannity's program, and he was talking about his concerns about John Bolton and the book, and that is coming out, and the classified information that they believe is in this book. That now Simon & Schuster, who decided to release this book, which is interesting, that they would want to do this, even though the Department of Justice did not give the go-ahead. The government did not give the go-ahead for this book. But, that's when you've got that TDS, baby. You do what you do, because if it means going against the president, then by all means, that's where we are going. But he did mention a couple of other things that I thought was interesting. He talked about the fact that when it comes to the NFL, and we heard about the college coach there, which I wish we had the audio. Can you find the audio, Jake? See if you could find the audio of the Oklahoma State coach. And I think he was on Twitter, gave a public apology for wearing the OAN T-shirt, because now you can't even wear a T-shirt that you like or anything that you want. So you can't wear certain clothes. You can't breathe the air unless you're wearing a mask, and if you're not wearing a mask, you'll be mocked and shamed and humiliated for doing that. We're getting to that place now. You certain who knows what else? Certain hairstyles, certain foods. Things that not too long ago were on your store shelf the way they were, like Mrs. Butterworth and Aunt Jemima, and I think Uncle Ben's rice, right? Now we're told that all of these things are racist and they have to change, and the companies are going to. It just asks and begs the question: what was it last month or last year, or the year before that, or why now? If it was that something that was that offensive, then why didn't you change it before, right? I mean, that's a fair question to ask. And that was a commercial from the 60s. Okay. They want to do that, that's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So that is absolutely a fine, something that
you can do. But the other thing, too, that we're looking at as well is this issue. And it has to do with what's going on with the president and what he said about Colin Kaepernick and the kneeling and the reason why there's kneeling in the NFL, why this is taking place. And he was asked about that with Hannity, and the president says,
when the national anthem plays and our flag, the great American flag, is raised, you should not be kneeling. You should be standing, ideally with your hand on your heart or saluting, but they should not be kneeling. They should not be kneeling, and this is something that the president has brought up on numerous occasions that people have talked about, which, by the way, what's probably going to happen next is that we're just not going to have it anymore.
I had the discussion in the newsroom, what was it, a week ago or 2 weeks ago? And somebody asked me, why do we do it anyway? Like, why is there a national anthem during the game? Like, why is it that we do this all the time? And it doesn't have to happen. Why do we even, make the sports patriotic or political? Why do we do that to begin with? Why don't we just eliminate it altogether, and it just solves the problem? Because it doesn't make sense. It's baseball, it's football. Just play the game. Why do you have to be patriotic, or why bring politics into it? Well, the politics have been brought in by others, and the patriotic part, well, you can answer that question if you'd like. We know why the kneeling started. I mean, we know the genesis, right, of why that happened. But for some reason, this other part of what the president said shocked and surprised people about Colin Kaepernick.
He was a great rookie, and his second year was great. And then after that, he started going downhill rather rapidly, and then he was out of football, and then he started suing everybody. And I think he made a lot more money doing that than he did with football. But it was, if he has the ability, somebody would take him.
If he has the ability, then somebody should take him. And apparently there are a lot of players or teams that are prepared to do that. Las Vegas Raiders owner Mark Davis said he would have no issue with his football operation signing Colin Kaepernick. There are others that don't have a problem with it. Why now? Why didn't you do it before? Was there a problem with him before? I mean, as a matter of fact, the further you get out, the further you get away from his last game, which really was not good. Is it possible that he wasn't good enough to make a squad? Is it possible that even before that there were teams that didn't want to bring him in, even knowing his history and his playing history? How he had a good rookie season, and looking at the situation afterwards and some of the awful games that he played, and they thought, well, this person on the field playing the game could be a detriment to the team. And so he's just not that good anymore, and we don't have any interest. And the flip side of that, even the president's like, listen, if somebody wants to give him a workout, he'll play. If he's good enough to do it. I don't know how you don't sign him now. Right, Jake? Does that like, how do you not? How does the NFL not do it? How does a team not bring him in now after all of this? At least give him a workout, right? Sign him. The demand is that he be signed. But why don't you bring him in now? I mean, if anything, it's the opposite of what it was before, right? Before it may have been, the talk may have been, this is a bad move. This is a bad move for a team. You don't want to deal with this. You're in the middle of a political fury. You don't want to be part of this political fury. You want no part of it. And unfortunately, it's Colin Kaepernick that's in the middle of all this, with the love for Marxism and Castro and wearing T-shirts. And you remember the pigs with the police hats on his socks and everything while he was playing. You remember all of that? Yeah. Oh, no, we forget all of that. Because then there was a problem, and it was, somebody, if the team didn't want to get involved. Now it seems like it would be the exact opposite. Think about all the attaboys and the pat on the back you would get if you brought Colin Kaepernick in to play for the team or you signed him. Does that sound carried away? I mean, am I talking?
No, I mean, it doesn't. No.
I mean, I'll say it. It's, ultimately you want the motivation to bring somebody on the team that they are that good and they're that good a player, and you're talking about sports and you've separated politics from sports and you have no idea politically where anybody stands. You just want them to play the game that they love, and you want to enjoy them playing the game and watching the game and rooting for your team, and you want to keep everything out of it. But we don't live in a perfect world, and that world doesn't exist. And so the world we're in right now, you have decisions to make, and now decisions are going to be made due to what? The politics of the day. So what's the percentage that he's going to get a shot now? 90%? And should he? You leave that to the coaches. You leave that to the teams. But make no mistake about it, you also have the opportunity to to show your support or lack of for what we will inevitably see. I think I saw a story just yesterday about. Yesterday there was a story about the what was it? A high school baseball team. The whole team kneeled. Everybody, high school baseball team. Were they? Well, doesn't matter. It's happening. What do people think when they see it? Politically, you're going to have both sides of this. All right. Kim's in Cape Coral. Hi, Kim.
Hello there. I just have a question for anyone who finds Uncle Ben and Aunt Jemima and Mrs. Butterworth offensive. Why then do white people not find it offensive for a white person portrayed on an item?
Like, in what way?
In any way.
Well, give me an example.
Like Paul Newman's pizza, or his sauces, or
well, it's not. I guess
Wheaties boxes.
It's because of the what is considered the racist portrayal of that individual, as opposed to just a person in their face. It's a racist portrayal. That they're talking about the Aunt Jemima image is one that dates back and harkens back to a time of clear racism. And so that's the feeling among those who want her removed from the maple syrup and all the products that are out there. And I think the point, one of the points, and thanks for the call, Kim, I appreciate it, is that you want to make sure that whatever is coming has precedent and has feelings in the past and is not being done because there are groups that are telling you that it has to be done this way. Right? Isn't that ultimately what it is? It's when it comes to anything. Hey, listen, JC and Abel said Colonel Sanders. You could say that's racist. So I guess you could probably make the portrayal of Colonel Sanders as an image that may not be able to be there because of the portrayal of his time and when he was around early on. See, here's the thing, though. We can do this all day long. We can do this all day long. We can go through and erase anything and everything that a group feels like they want gone out of society. It goes to the statues that we see that are being the vandalism that is happening with statues that nobody seems to want to do anything about. Right? We have that. Kevin's at Cape Coral wanted to weigh in on Colin Kaepernick. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, man. How you?
Hey, I'm all right.
Hey, now all they got to do is just sign him. They don't have to let him play. They get a merit badge just for signing him, and it makes them legit,
Well, it's interesting how just a couple of years have changed everything. The tone and the image now of signing Colin Kaepernick. And thanks for the call. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And whether or not it should, based on what it should be based on, which is his playing ability and no other reason, it's not going to matter. All right, boy, we got a lot of calls there coming in. All right, let's see. Bill's in L.A.
I got to tell you, man, I'm so offended and I'm just getting sick of Cracker Jacks. Always on Cracker Jacks. White people on Cracker Jacks. White men can't jump. White men can't dance. What is this stereotypical crap that's accepted by society?
Thank you, Bill. It's not where I wanted to go this morning, but there we are. All right, lots of people calling and lots of people upset. All right, so let's do this. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll get to more calls and more thoughts on this. Look, ultimately, when it comes to the images that are on packaging or the billboards that are out there or movies from the past or actors who have been in blackface or politicians who have been in blackface that have been removed from office, well, unless they're a Democrat, then it's a whole other story. But the point is that you have groups of individuals that that have the desire to tear down and change anything and everything that they feel is racist, and they're going to go there in places that I don't know that we ever envisioned would be the way it is now. We'll get to your thoughts coming up. All right, Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. If you would like to play, let's do that coming up. Caller number 3. Just make it caller 3 at 239-479-5592. Third caller right now will play Drew's College. Coming up next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
A crash at Three Oaks and Coconut Road is slowing traffic for about 1 mile southbound on Three Oaks, a very congested area right now, a place to avoid. So go ahead and hop on US 41 if you're looking for the fastest alternate. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Our rainy season pattern is back as we go throughout your Thursday. Increase in tropical moisture will help to bump up our chances for rain. Scattered showers and storms in the forecast with temperatures near 88. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel. Drew Steel, weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and yes, it is time for you to do something about your style. Well, I mean, from your style, window treatments and decor. Now, don't get me wrong, you've got a great style, but maybe you need to fix up some things in your home. Maybe like I did, the treatments on your windows, blinds, shutters, shades. Well, you've got to go to Your Style Window Treatments and Decor, a veteran family-owned and operated business with multiple brands of blinds, shades, and shutters. And they have this great fabric that they use. It's called Microban, and it's one kind of treatment that you might want to think about because of its antimicrobial protection. And it inhibits the growth of bacteria, mold, and mildew that can cause stains, odors, and degrade the fabric. Yeah, you can get that at Your Style Window Treatments and Decor. And they can provide all of this with certified trained sales, installation, right through till completion. So give Your Style Window Treatments and Decor a call, will you? 471-5006. You're going to love them. 239-471-5006 for Your Style Window Treatments and Decor. Or visit them online at yourstylewindowtreatments.com.
Does market turbulence and economic turmoil have you worried about your retirement nest egg? I'm Alfie Townsend. Learn how to navigate these uncertain times. Tune in to Saving the Investor radio show every Saturday at 9 a.m. or visit us at savingtheinvestor.com.
Hi, Michael Crothers, owner of Pure Air Conditioning. Now that our economy is reopened and to help the community, we've decided to offer a safe $29 AC maintenance. All Pure Air employees are supplied with gloves, foot coverings, and KN95 masks for your and their protection. Find us online at getpureair.com to schedule your safe $29 AC maintenance. Join me every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. for the Get Pure Air radio show. I'll be talking about everything from air conditioning maintenance to troubleshooting tips.
True relief for back and neck pain. Sitting at home with back or neck pain, lying in a recliner suffering with leg pain or weakness, out of shape from sciatica, stenosis, or neuropathy? Get relief and get your life back. Non-surgical spinal decompression. This is Dr. Johnson, DC at 596 Back. Spinal decompression is an ingenious, innovative treatment that has shattered doctors' traditional ways of treating back or neck problems. Doctors have been left scratching their heads. Finally, avoid needles, epidurals, and drugs. This treatment is also super comfortable. Patients of any age can be treated and doesn't involve any hanging upside down. It uses a relaxing, computerized table to gently remove pressure on spinal nerves and discs, relieving pain, numbness, or weakness. Call our Medicare-friendly office today for a free telephone consultation to find out how spinal decompression can help you. Johnston Spinal Care, 596 Back. 596-2225. That's 596-2225.
For over 20 years, the Good Feet store has been helping people with foot pain get back to doing what they love without their feet getting in the way. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Will in Naples. Hello there, Will. They call you Will. They call you Will, but your name is William.
That's correct.
Okay. Did they call you Bill, like William or Bill? Or did they call you Will?
No Bill, no Willie, no Billy, no Junior, just Will.
All right, good to know, Will. All right, it's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Your associate's degree questions. Okay. You're right. All right. Hey, Will. Okay. Will, who was the vice president of the United States in the year 2010? Who was that?
Joe Biden.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got an associate. Sleepy. Oh, a little Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe.
There you go, little Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe for you. All right, associate's degree question. You got it. We'll see if you get a bachelor's on this. The highest court in the United States is?
The U.S. Supreme Court.
That is correct, sir.
The
SCOTUS. All right, you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. In 1920, the 19th Amendment took effect. That gave women the right to do what?
Go shopping. No, vote.
Yes, it's voting. It's hey, don't do it. Don't. Just stop. Just stop. Don't say anything else.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. You're good. Whew. Cards and letters, care of the station. Send them to Jake. All right. Let's see. You got a master's. We'll see if you get a PhD on this question. The Lincoln Memorial was dedicated in Washington, D.C. in what year? What year do we have this beautiful structure, the Lincoln Memorial, dedicated? Washington, D.C. What year was that? Was that 1847, 1922, or 1952?
I'll go with 22.
That is correct, sir. What a guess. I mean, that is just genius. Congratulations. Will Naples, congratulations, sir. You got yourself a PhD today on Drew's College. Clearly the smartest man on your phone. Very good.
Drew, thank you very much. And Epstein didn't kill himself.
Hold on, Will. That's
wrong.
We gotta go to break.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, this is Papa reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list, and in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Gary, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. License CCC 133-1790. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection.
I'm Dr. William Fingelstaller. I'm running for Congress because America is at its greatest crossroads yet. The Democrat Party has transformed into a criminal enterprise that is destroying our country from within, trampling the Constitution, defunding our first responders, and wreaking havoc on our churches and businesses. I'm Dr. William Fingelstaller, and I approve this message because now is not the time to be sending weak leaders to Washington. In Congress, I will fight the radical left with everything I've got. You can count on it.
Paid for by William Fingelstaller for Congress.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services, our family protecting your family.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by CFS Roofing. Online at cfsroofing.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. One person is dead after a single car crash in Cape Coral this morning. Right now, we're working to find out how the crash happened and who died. It happened on Diplomat Parkway West near Santa Barbara Boulevard. All lanes are reopened. The LaBelle community honored their superhero during a candlelight vigil last night. They released hundreds of floating lanterns for fallen FWC officer Julian Keene. A gunman shot and killed him over the weekend in LaBelle. The Lee County chapter of the NAACP will meet with local law enforcement today. They'll discuss policies and procedures to make sure something like what happened to Rayshard Brooks in Atlanta does not happen here. The Lee County Sheriff, Sanibel Police, and State Attorney Amira Fox will all be there. A woman is accused of stabbing her own mother to death in Cape Coral. This morning, Mariah Kelly will face a judge for the first time for manslaughter charges. Police found Kelly's mother at a home along Southwest Embers Terrace with a stab wound. She died at the hospital yesterday. A man accused of beating a child to death is being held on a $500,000 bond. We've learned Yanir Velasquez Ojeda's charges increased because that toddler died. He's accused of beating her in Lehigh Acres last month. He now faces a second-degree murder charge. This morning, you can learn what NCH is doing to keep patients safe. The hospital is hosting a virtual town hall with CEO Paul Hiltz at 10 o'clock this morning. It is open to the public, and there's a link to the meeting on the Wink News app. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
The crash at Three Oaks and Coconut Road is blocking southbound Three Oaks. So go ahead and hop on US 41 if you're heading towards Coconut. As well as a crash in Lehigh at 82 and Sunshine Boulevard. Westbound delays on State Road 82, guys. Still a very, very congested area. You can get around it by using 23rd or Lee Boulevard to head out of Lehigh. Also in Fort Myers, Forum Boulevard slowing, heading southbound towards Colonial. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Thanks to an increase in tropical moisture from our south, expect a better chance of rain. We're back at it with our typical rainy season pattern. Scattered showers and storms in the forecast with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s to near 90 degrees. More scattered storms for your Friday all the way towards the weekend. Temperature-wise, we will be in the lower 90s, hot and humid toward Father's Day, with even hotter weather into next week with more chances for rain. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Run all along.
The Father's Day real deals are at Mel's Diner.
We're bringing back good times and great food.
We're making it easy to enjoy the great food from Mel's Diner, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, and even easier to get money-saving info on Mel's real deals. We've intensified our efforts to provide a safe environment for everyone. That means Dad can enjoy Father's Day with curbside takeout, delivery, or indoor seating. How about this for Father's Day? A full rack of Mel's fall-off-the-bone barbecue baby back ribs, together with French fries and coleslaw. Ready for this? Just $10. You can't prepare it at home for less. Plus, on Father's Day, every dad will receive a $5 coupon to be redeemed on their next visit. Get Mel's real deals sent direct to you. Text Mel's to 35344 and get a free appetizer at melsdiners.com. Register for Mel's loyalty program. Don't forget Father's Day. A full rack of Mel's famous barbecue baby back ribs. $10 at Mel's Diner.
Eating dinner in your underwear?
Honey, put some clothes on.
Taking cold showers every hour? Or pitching a tent in front of your refrigerator to stay cool. These are things you can do to beat the heat in your home.
And due to these difficult times, we have extended our no diagnostic fees, no trip charges, no strings. Visit FloridaCoolToday.com to schedule. Carrier turn to the experts.
The Chinese government lied about the coronavirus. China unleashed the Wuhan pandemic on the world, costing trillions, costing jobs, costing American lives. My name is Casey Askar. This crisis proves President Trump is right. We must control our border, bring manufacturing back to America, and stop depending on China. I'm Casey Askar, and I approve this message. China must pay. America must rebuild. Our survival depends on it.
Paid for by Casey Askar for Congress.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason. Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing costs program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000, that's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I'm so glad you're here. 239-479-5592. There's the phone number in the text line. Look at Jake. Jake's happy that you're here. Jake's, I got to zoom in on Jake because Jake's, your hair looks really good. Like it's really, are you letting it grow now? You decided that the mullet's out.
No, mullet's coming.
You want it to be super
preparing
long
for it.
Oh, all right.
Getting it nice and,
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah. The gesture that you just made, I'm not really sure what that. If you want to see, you can just go to YouTube. You can watch us streaming live. Steele with 3 E's, Steele. There are the E's at the end of the 3.
You know that movie?
Which movie?
Oh, Do Brother, Where Art Thou, or something like that. I've completely butchered that.
Yeah. What about it?
The whole movie. He's got the grease and he's like combing his hair back.
Mm-hmm.
It's the coolest thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so if you want to call 239-479-5592 as well. That is the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line. Boy, John Bolton's making a lot of headlines, in case you don't know. John Bolton, who has a book that's coming out. John Bolton, who's been sued to stop the publishing of this quote-unquote tell-all book from being released next week. Because the administration's saying it's filled with classified information that affects national security. But come on, a couple of $1 million. Yeah, you better believe I'll say whatever you want. What? Hasn't stopped them. The publisher, Simon & Schuster, they're just moving along, everybody. Let's go. Come on, get that book out. Because you know it's going to sell big because you've got a disgruntled employee, right? I mean, is that what it is? I mean, is that what's going on here? The book, the alleged bombshells, which we're going to get to in just a second, are they true? Did it really happen? Is that really what's going on? Some of the things that are in the book. I mean, it's a good thing that we know for sure that John Bolton is telling the truth, everything bad, everything negative that he said about this administration in this book and this president and the things that he was doing. Because clearly he's been like that all along. I mean, from day one, from the moment that John Bolton decided that he wanted that job, that he was going to lobby individuals to get that job in the NSA, to be by the president's side, he always spoke negative about the president. He didn't like this president. He thought the president was doing an awful job. He thought, John Bolton, that the administration was terrible. The president didn't know what he was doing. Clearly, we've got plenty of audio that would prove that, right?
President Trump accomplished what other leaders have repeatedly promised but consistently failed to deliver.
he looks out after the best interest of the American people. They're the ones who elected him. They're the ones he's responsible to.
And his administration will deliver, I am confident.
He's not going to make the same mistakes that President Obama made. And I think one thing you can be sure of is President Trump's not going to make the mistakes of prior administrations here.
I think the president's doing exactly the right thing.
Well, of course, the internet is forever, and so is video, and so is John Bolton on numerous occasions, on numerous different programs, talking how awesome the president is, and wasn't going to be like Barack Obama, and wasn't going to be like the former administration. And oh, wait, there's more.
The president correctly understands when China gets economic power by stealing from the United States and others, it's time to call a stop to it. Well, I think the Trump administration has been very tough. It has imposed enormous sanctions on Russia. Since January 2017, the president has taken decisive action to defend our election systems.
I'm just putting all this out there so everybody understands the John Bolton pre-TDS. Now we have the John Bolton post-TDS, which all of a sudden seems to be affecting him because all the things he said before. So either John Bolton is a huge liar, or John Bolton is just a liar. I mean, I'm not sure which one it is. It's really hard to decide how you thread that needle. I don't know. Is he telling the truth? Is the president that bad? Is he that incompetent? Even though he said nothing of the sort while he was there to many different outlets and groups and press conferences at the White House. What is he saying now? The biggest alleged bombshell, which Bolton writes about in his claim that in June 2019 at the G20, June 2019, right? Trump begged Chinese President Xi to help him get reelected. Begged him to get reelected. According to Bolton, Xi said that America's relationship with China was important and that it was wrong for some of America to want a Cold War. He countered that Democrats were hostile to China, and then, says Bolton, begged Chairman Xi, saying, now I want you to listen to these words. Trump then stunningly turned the conversation to the coming U.S. presidential election, alluding to China's economic capability and pleading with Xi to ensure he'd win. He stressed the importance of farmers and increased Chinese purchases of soybeans and wheat in the electoral outcome. American Thinker has a story on this. Andrea Widberg writes about how John Bolton's book looks like a fairy tale for Trump haters. The implication is that having used Putin to win in 2016, something that the Mueller report reluctantly conceded was false, Trump is now using Xi to win in 2020. The contention is ludicrous, but you see what they're trying to do in the connection. Why would John Bolton do this? Why? Is it the money? The millions of dollars paid? The precedent that's being set right now by John Bolton to write a book, a tell-all, while the president's still in office? What that does to our national security? Who cares about that? And we're supposed to believe every word that John Bolton says in the book. I mean, listen, if John Bolton says it, you know, the left in this country who hated John Bolton when he was saying all the great things about the president, right?
For meddling and interference. I think the president's right on the policy here.
Yeah. Well, I think he's got another year of accomplishments under his belt.
Yeah, okay. So all the positives, right, that they hated, now they love him. Oh, we love John Bolton. John Bolton is the truth teller. This man is, really? We all see how it works. We see the politics. We also see the danger in this, right? We all understand the danger that is part of what John Bolton is doing. Whether you think that, like the president said on Hannity's program last night, and breaking the law, and the fact that the administration, the DOJ, did not finish going over. Look, if you don't like the fact that going over the book didn't happen fast enough for you because you wanted to get this book out, sorry. Going over whether or not there was classified information there.
They broke the law. Very simple. I mean, as much as it's going to be broken, this is highly classified. That's the highest stage. It's highly classified information. And he did not have approval. That's come out now very loud and very strong.
Yeah. And is it possible? You know, I had this conversation with somebody yesterday, and I think it's something that we have to talk about. And I think it's something that you need to talk with people that you know and really decide this. You know, I think that the president clearly loves the country. He clearly wants to serve the American people. The motivation is the fact that he loves the country and he felt like he could do something and make a difference and make America, I don't know, great again. And that there are forces on both sides of the aisle that have never liked his style, the way he speaks, the way he is not a politician and how he talks just like we do in everyday language instead of the perfectly buttoned up political language that we are constantly hearing. And how dangerous it is when you have somebody who is succeeding, who comes in out of the middle of nowhere, just comes in and is able to succeed and ruin your good time and ruin everything that you know. And what we are always told is the truth, which is, look, the people you surround yourself with have to have decades and decades and decades of politics under their belt. It's the only way you can do it. And how the president has constantly, and even to this day, this is the thing that upsets me. And maybe I'm wrong, and you can tell me where I'm wrong, 239-479-5592. Even to this day, people are introduced to this president in many different ways by many different people. Sometimes people are duped into believing that John Bolton is the good guy and he would be a great hire, only to find out that he's not. And you promote and feel good about a John Bolton coming into the administration and that this is the guy you want. And clearly this is someone that you should listen to when it comes to the national security of the country and what's going on globally and his experience. That people continuously get brought into this president's circle that do not have anything but animus towards him. And who are these individuals that keep doing this, that keep introducing him to people that continue to disappoint? Right? Since day one. And it's still happening now today. It's crazy. It's just something I've noticed. And then obviously the notion that when somebody does something like this, when they set a precedent like this, when they're willing to write a book, a tell-all book, and then go on, not Fox News, not Rush Limbaugh's show or Hannity's program or anybody else, but to go on to ABC News or the big exclusive for the weekend to let everybody know about this book. When you go to ABC, that tells you a lot as well, right? Like, what's your motivation here? And to set this kind of precedent with somebody who is still in office, that shows you how tough it is, how hard it is to bring people into your inner circle and trust them. And then when you don't, because you see how you can get burned and the precedent you have set, what that does to this country. How you need to have people in your inner circle. You need to have people that you trust, that are close to you. And then you ultimately have to bring people in that maybe are family members or people that we're told you're not supposed to have. No way are you supposed to bring that person in. This is an outrage. Really? What's the alternative? To bring the people that you say he's supposed to bring in? Look at how that worked out. That's tough. That's hard. And again, it sets an awful precedent for the future to say, I can't trust anybody that's here. I just can't. And then I can't have an open conversation with you to decide the safety and security of the American people and the country because of all of this. So this is a big deal. It's a big deal. All right. Stay break 92.5 Fox News. Let's find out what's happening with traffic up to the minute. Here's Sabrina Katz.
I-75 is up to speed, but there is a disabled vehicle at mile marker 116. This is just near the Bonita Beach Road on-ramp heading southbound. Also, if you are in Lehigh Acres, there's a crash at State Road 82 and Sunshine, slowing traffic just west of Alabama Road. You can navigate around it by using Lee Boulevard, as well as slowdowns north on Ortiz heading towards MLK Boulevard. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Our rainy season pattern is back as we go throughout your Thursday. Increase in tropical moisture will help to bump up our chances for rain. Scattered showers and storms in the forecast with temperatures near 88. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Blah, 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 blah. Gear up for the liberal loudmouths at work. Drew Steele, mornings on 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. My friends at Zero Res Carpet and Tile Cleaning want to let you know, look, your safety and your family's safety is their top priority. In the light of the current health and safety concerns, Zero Res wants to let you know about some of the procedures and preventative measures for added protection. Practicing safe social distancing while in your home. You can even leave or stay in another room and they can communicate with you by phone. How cool is that? Cleaning and disinfecting all equipment with EPA-registered disinfectants between each job. The techs are wearing gloves and booties. They're supplementing the supply of products that are EPA approved to clean and disinfect hard surfaces, and as an added preventive measure and no additional fee, they're going to treat doorknobs with the EPA approved hospital grade disinfecting products. Look, the top priority is to create peace of mind by providing people with healthy, safe, clean home and work environments, and they're going to continue to do just that through this difficult time. Give them a call at 239-932-9376. That's 239-932-9376 or online at ZeroResSWFL.com. Spell it backwards or forwards, it still spells the same. ZEROREZ.
Replacing your wood paneling? That's a do-it-yourself. Replacing your electrical panel? That's a don't do-it-yourself. Play it safe and call your locally owned Mr. Sparky for any electrical replacement. From electrical panels to total home rewires, Mr. Sparky will leave your home safer than we found it.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
As our state representative, Ray Rodriguez has always been the conservative we could count on. Now, Ray wants to take his conservative record to the Florida Senate. Ray Rodriguez fought to end illegal immigration in Florida. He helped ban sanctuary cities and fought alongside Governor DeSantis to protect our jobs by passing E-Verify. Ray will continue to fight to ensure those in our country illegally will not find sanctuary in our state. When it came to protecting the right to life, no one was more pro-life than Ray Rodriguez. In Florida's Senate, Ray will continue the fight to protect the unborn. And when Donald Trump needed him the most, Ray was there. As one of Florida's members of the Electoral College, Ray stood strong against Hillary Clinton and the Democrats when they tried to steal the election by flipping electors. In the Florida Senate, Ray will always support President Trump and his plan to keep America great. Ray Rodriguez has always been a conservative we could count on. Now, we need him in the Florida Senate. Paid by Ray Rodriguez, Republican, for the Florida Senate.
For over 20 years, the Good Feet store has been helping people with foot pain get back to doing what they love without their feet getting in the way. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Wow. Hold on a second. This happened yesterday, and I just noticed this. But the president has talked about school choice, constantly talking about it. I love that the president is talking about that. Why in the world, if you're a teacher or if you are somebody who cares about educating all children and getting the best education possible, how could you possibly be against the idea of school choice? How's that possible? The only way it's possible is if it's motivated by something else. Clearly, you're not in it for the kids if you think that school choice is a bad thing. You worried about monies being taken away from your failing school district? Is that what you're worried about? Are you worried about competition where someone could come in and say, listen, I'm going to give you a voucher, an opportunity to go to the school of your choice, no matter where you live and what your income is and what it's like in your community? The fact that there's opportunity that is out there, and I'm going to give you that opportunity because how important we know education is, that it might actually make you better and work harder and make your district better. Why would you be against it unless you're afraid of it? And who are the people that are against it? And so I just saw this video pop up. Did you see this? It's an interview with, this is on MSNBC of all places. MSNBC taking on a teachers union leader for opposing school choice for lower income families in urban areas. Listen to this. This is MSNBC. Stephanie Rule, is that her name? Listen to this.
The Department of Education has got a $200 billion budget. It's not underfunded, and we know that there are kids living in cities in this country where those schools aren't serving them. And if you live in an inner city and you've got kids, your best chance of economic mobility for your child is through a great education.
Absolutely.
And there are schools that aren't serving our kids.
And those schools need to be fixed like we did in New York City. And
they're not going to get fixed today. And if I had a kid today, which I do, I have children today in school, and they went to a public school that wasn't serving their needs, and I was in a position where I could send them elsewhere. Shouldn't we say we want that choice?
Woo! 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 How about that? You got that right. Just remember something. And I'm so passionate about this, and it drives me crazy. Listen, don't tell me there's only your way to educate your child. That it has to be in a $2 gajillion building. There's no other way to do it. You can't do it by homeschooling. You can't do it. You can't have school choice because it's going to take away from our district. Really? Well, how about the competition? How about you competing and to make your district, your school better, especially in these low-income areas? What about that? Woo!
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Great news, Southwest Florida. Below invoice employee pricing is back at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Lowest prices ever on over 1,500 new and certified pre-owned vehicles. Loaded, luxurious Grand Cherokee Limited lease, $289 per month. That's right, Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited, $289 per month. 7-passenger Dodge Journey SUV, just $19,990. Plus at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, you can drive payment-free for 3 months or interest-free for 6 years and worry-free up to 100,000 miles. And our parts service and body shop are open to serve you. Below invoice employee pricing at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com.
Gotta go to Galliana.
42-month lease, 10,000 miles per year, $19.99 due at signing, plus tax, tag title, dealer, and acquisition fees, 0 security deposit, $13.88 per month per thousand borrowed for 72 months at 0 APR with 0 down with lender approval. Offers don't combine.
I'm Dean Eagle, and this is more than just another campaign ad. This is a promise. Communist China will be held accountable. They will pay for the crisis caused by the coronavirus pandemic. As Republican Majority Leader of the Florida House of Representatives, I fought alongside Governor DeSantis to ban sanctuary cities and pass E-Verify. Now, I'm asking for your vote so I can fight alongside President Trump in Congress. I'm Dane Eagle, and if I'm elected, I will call for a tribunal to put Communist China on trial, just like Nazi Germany after World War II. The world deserves the truth. What did China know? Was this an attack on the global economy? Was their intent to harm America? I will demand we get these answers. Nations affected by COVID-19 need to work together under American leadership to put Communist China on trial and uncover the truth. I'm Dane Eagle. I'm asking for your vote so I can hold Communist China accountable. That's a promise.
Paid for by Dane Eagle for Congress.
I'm Dane Eagle, and I approve this message.
Home is truly where the heart is. CFS Roofing Services understands that. When I saw what CFS did for my neighbor's roof, I called them. Everyone was professional, and owner David Crowther has nearly 4 decades of experience. It's obvious they care.
CFS Roofing Services, where your home matters most. Visit cfsroofing.com or call 239-561-2600. I'm David Crowther. and I approve this message.
Eating dinner in your underwear?
Hey, put some clothes on.
Taking cold showers every hour? Or pitching a tent in front of your refrigerator to stay cool. These are things you can do to beat the heat in your home.
And due to these difficult times, we have extended our no diagnostic fees, no trip charges, no strings. Visit floridacooltoday.com to schedule. Carrier, turn to the experts.
News, I'm Lillian Wu. 2 Atlanta officers charged in the killing of a man who pointed a taser at them have till 6 this evening to turn themselves in.
Former Atlanta police officer Garrett Rolfe now faces 11 charges, including felony murder, which is punishable by up to the death penalty. Rolfe is accused of shooting Rayshard Brooks in the back twice and killing him. Rolfe also faces assault with a deadly weapon and 3 other assault charges for shooting in the direction of a vehicle with 3 witnesses sitting inside of the truck. His partner, Officer Devin Brosnan, faces 3 charges, including aggravated assault and 2 violation of oath charges.
That's Fox's Brian Yennis. And first-time jobless claims for last week coming in at 1.5 million versus the 1.3 million that was expected. America's listening to Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. 1 person is dead after a single car crash in Cape Coral this morning. Right now, we're working to find out how the crash happened and who died. It happened on Diplomat Parkway West near Santa Barbara Boulevard. All lanes are reopened. The LaBelle community honored their superhero during a candlelight vigil last night. They released hundreds of floating lanterns for fallen FWC officer Julian Keene. A gunman shot and killed him over the weekend in LaBelle. The Lee County chapter of the NAACP will meet with local law enforcement today. They'll discuss policies and procedures to make sure something like what happened to Rayshard Brooks in Atlanta does not happen here. The Lee County Sheriff, Sanibel Police, and State Attorney Amira Fox will all be there. A woman is accused of stabbing her own mother to death in Cape Coral. This morning, Mariah Kelly will face a judge for the first time for manslaughter charges. Police found Kelly's mother at a home along Southwest Embers Terrace with a stab wound. She died at the hospital yesterday. A man accused of beating a child to death is being held on a $500,000 bond. We've learned Yanir Velasquez Ojeda's charges increased because that toddler died. He's accused of beating her in Lehigh Acres last month. He now faces a second-degree murder charge. This morning, you can learn what NCH is doing to keep patients safe. The hospital is hosting a virtual town hall with CEO Paul Hiltz at 10 o'clock this morning. It is open to the public, and there's a link to the meeting on the Wink News app. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
I-75 is up to speed, but there is a disabled vehicle at mile marker 116. This is just near the Bonita Beach Road on-ramp heading southbound. Also, if you are in Lehigh Acres, there's a crash at State Road 82 and Sunshine, slowing traffic just west of Alabama Road. You can navigate around it by using Lee Boulevard, as well as slowdowns north on Ortiz heading towards MLK Boulevard. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Thanks to an increase in tropical moisture from our south, expect a better chance of rain. We're back at it with our typical rainy season pattern. Scattered showers and storms in the forecast with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s to near 90 degrees. More scattered storms for your Friday all the way towards the weekend. Temperature-wise, we will be in the lower 90s, hot and humid towards Father's Day, with even hotter weather into next week with more chances for rain. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, I'm Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes. You've heard me say we're the working and retired person's country club. This means coming in for a meal, a drink, or with a party, and we will obtain your complete satisfaction with our food, service, and value. We strive for excellence with your service experience and our food. So on the rare occasion we fall short, tell us and we'll fix it. Plus, at Stevie Tomatoes, there are no pretenses, no attitudes, high prices, or rushing you in or out. Come relax, enjoy yourself, and be yourself. At Stevie's, we love meeting the men and women who currently and in the past best. Work hard to make America great. We appreciate their values, honesty, industriousness, and affection for this great country. So head to Stevie's, where we strive for excellence in everything we do. I guarantee it. In Naples, Fort Myers, and Cape Coral. Come, come, come.
Stevie Tomatoes, sports page. Come for the food. Stay for the sports.
We are Moran Wealth Management. Passionate about learning what's important to you and your family. Personable, with 24 professionals dedicated to attentive, customized service and focused on client relationships. Performance-driven. As part of Barron's top 1,200 advisors, Tom Moran, founder, CEO, and senior PIM portfolio manager, is Florida's highest-ranked advisor for 2019. Call 239-920-4440 today or visit MoranWealthManagement.com. Moran Wealth Management. Passionate, personable, performance-driven. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
Hey, this is Papa with Casey, Carrie, and Cody. And as most of you know, when Irma hit in September of 2017, thousands of people tried unsuccessfully to call a roofing company, but all the roofers were so overwhelmed they could not handle or even answer those calls. Now here we are, almost 3 years later, and many of those same people are still waiting to have their roofs repaired. So we are implementing our proactive list. If you want to be on our list, call me for our free tolerance inspection. Once we inspect your roof, you will be on the proactive list. If or when the next storm hits, you will have no need to call any roofer because we will be calling you automatically to see if you need help. We can offer emergency repairs and tarp service or whatever your roof requires. Call Papa now for our free tolerance inspection, 945-2700. We believe it's wise to be proactive and it costs you nothing to join our list. Call Papa for our free tolerance inspection at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. License number CCC 1331790.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
It is Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. My name is Drew Steele. Over there is Jake the Millennial. You can see us on YouTube each and every day, streaming live. Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. That's Steele. Please subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate that, and that support keeps us going. And in the meantime, let's do this right now. Time for the top 5 audio clips of the day. Here's the 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
I think anyone at this moment in time that says there's not going to be any big events in August, well, with what information and data do they have? Because 2 or 3 months ago, experts told us theme parks would not reopen this year. Sports would not reopen this year. And guess what? They were all wrong.
They were all wrong. And there's Jacksonville Mayor Lenny Curry. He was on with the Fox News Rundown yesterday. Jacksonville Mayor talking about the RNC moving to Jacksonville and how a lot of people are saying, you can't do this in August. You can't do it. You can't have the RNC there. You can't have a Trump rally this weekend. You can't do any of these things because, the COVID is out there. The Rona is running wild, and we're seeing this uptick. And, of course, he's saying, oh, well, hold on a second. They were saying that the theme parks weren't going to be opening up, and they found a way to do it. And they'll find a way to do it responsibly at the RNC. They know there's a responsible way to do it at the Trump rally coming up this weekend. The some would say huge Trump rally this weekend that they will do it. Of course, when it comes to protesting and the like, responsibility, it's a bigger cause. Doesn't make that big much of a difference. I wonder how many cases are coming from those protests. Anybody asking that?
Number 4.
He was a great rookie, and his second year was great. And then after that, he started going downhill rather rapidly, and then he was out of football, and then he started suing everybody. And I think he made a lot more money doing that than he did with football. But it was if he has the ability, if somebody would take him.
That's something that was surprising and shocking, although consistent with what the president has been saying all along. He was talking on Hannity's program last night. Listen, if somebody wants to bring Colin Kaepernick in the NFL, they want to hire him. They feel like he could be a help to the team, and by all means, listen. He had a great rookie season. He had a bad a couple of years after that. Well, pretty much his whole career after that was just sliding downhill. But, if you want to bring him in, as long as it's not about politics, as long as you don't think there'll be an attaboy, a pat on the back for doing it now as opposed to before, because before nobody wanted to bring him in. Why? Now you do want to bring him in, and the question would be why?
Number 3.
The demeanor of the officers immediately after the shooting did not reflect any fear or danger of Mr. Brooks, but their actions really reflected other kinds of emotions.
Other kinds of emotions. Their demeanor was not one of fear. That is the Fulton County DA yesterday. That's the District Attorney Paul Howard, saying that the police officer who shot and killed Rayshard Brooks is going to be charged with 11 counts, including felony murder. Felony murder brings with it the death penalty. And that there was really no threat to the officer, even though he fired a taser at the officer. And as a matter of fact, the demeanor would say that they weren't even worried. That as a matter of fact, there may have been other reasons why they did that. Do you think that they're trying to put into the people's minds there that are listening, that are watching, that could be part of a jury pool, a now tainted jury pool, that there were other reasons why the officer did this? Is that where you're going? It's outrageous.
Number 2.
Thank you for yielding. And Mr. Chairman, there seems to be a good amount of dispute as to what life is like in the Chaz. The gentlelady from Washington says it's like a peaceful poetry community garden, and yet we see these reports of rapes and delayed response time. We see videos of people assaulting each other and demanding race-based payments. And so I would just ask the chairman, would you be willing to host a CODEL, a congressional delegation, in the Chaz so that we might all be able to go there and show the country what's happening, observe it in real time, and then if the Chaz is something that the majority would like to have spread across the country, perhaps you can make that case in vivid color, but I'll yield to the chairman to answer whether or not he'd be willing to lead the CODEL to the Chaz.
The time of the gentleman has expired.
That is Matt Gaetz yesterday. The chairman is Jerry Nadler, and he's saying, listen, we're hearing from from some of the Congress people here when the Congresswoman said, listen, Jake, in Washington right now, you see the videos, it's like a festival. It's lovely in the Chaz or the Chop Chaz or whatever they're calling it. It's lovely there.
But it smells bad.
Well, no, that's something else. That's the whiff of everything around the Chaz coming into the Chaz. No, it's okay. Actually, it smells like a really fine washed linen. Okay. And it's perfect. And as a matter of fact, even though we're hearing about some trouble, some beatings, rapes, and other things that are happening, the disorganization there, the concerns about the safety, the fact that, blocks of a major metropolitan city is allowed to be taken over. If it's so beautiful, let's have a congressional delegation go and show the world that it's a perfect place. And Jerry Nadler's like, I can't take my mask off. Where's my mask? It's on your face, Jerry. Somebody help me take it off, please.
Number 1.
Do you have your hands around how many officers are involved in this not calling in or calling out sick, this apparent revolt in response to these charges? The department put out that tweet I read earlier for the audience saying that they think they have enough resources. But how many officers are we talking about? Do you know?
Well, we don't have a count yet because we were in the midst of a shift change. But what I do know is that we do have enough officers to cover us through the night. And our streets won't be any less safe because of the number of officers who've called out.
That is yesterday on CNN, Chris Cuomo, who said something that is a little wrong in the asking of the question. But that was Chris Cuomo asking, Fredo, asking the question of the mayor of the city of Atlanta saying, hold on a second, are you seeing higher than usual numbers of call-outs? Yes. That there are people that are not coming in to work, officers who are refusing, it appears, to show up. And
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
And the question is why? Now, he says it's a revolt against the charges against the officer, the 11 counts, including felony murder. I don't know that it's a revolt. I think that's the wrong way to put it. But as the mayor was saying, yeah, there've been a higher than usual number of call-outs. They're upset. Maybe more than upset. Maybe they're concerned about their jobs, their career, their livelihood, their families that is now going to be disrupted because there are individuals who are telling you that every police officer is racist, every department is systemically racist, every department needs to go. And now we have district attorneys and others that are willing to go after officers when they are in the process of taking someone into custody. And then they refuse and wrestle with that individual and grab a deadly weapon, a taser, out of their hands. Remember, a deadly weapon. I'll come back to that. Running away, turning around and shooting that deadly weapon at the officer taking steps to stop that person from shooting that deadly weapon. Could have been the officer's gun. In the melee, in the struggle, does he know necessarily that wasn't the other officer's weapon that was removed? We have example upon example. You can search social media and find it just like that. Rich Colco sent me a video that shows how there was a video, how 2 officers were shot by someone who was taking a sobriety test. They were going to cuff the person because they failed the sobriety test. There was a struggle with the officers. Ultimately, that person in that struggle was tased for about 45 seconds. They thought they had that person under control after being tased, only to find out that they weren't. Another struggle ensued. That person grabbed one of the officers' guns and shot them both and took off. Don't tell us that the circumstances are not deadly and dangerous in that situation. Don't tell us that somebody is an unarmed individual cannot be dangerous when it comes to a confrontation with a police officer, because there is always a weapon if you're confronting a police officer. Don't tell us that there's somebody that is unarmed. There's always a gun. That gun is the officer's gun. That taser is the officer's taser. There's always a weapon when you confront an officer and tussle and resist arrest. Don't tell us that person is unarmed, because just like that, it could change. And oh, by the way, the part about the taser. Here's the DA of Fulton County, DA Howard, not too long ago saying this about a taser in the state of Georgia.
And charged with aggravated assault of Ms. Pilgrim, and this is for pointing a taser at Mrs. Pilgrim. And as many of you all know, under Georgia law, a taser is considered as a deadly weapon under Georgia law.
A deadly weapon under Georgia law. That is a taser. Did you know that? So at the same time when he was announcing 11 counts against the officer, including felony murder, which is punishable by either life imprisonment or the death penalty for an officer, at the same time being charged and saying that Brooks didn't pose a threat to the officers, even though he fired a taser at an officer. It was just a month before when a police officer was charged for pointing a taser at someone, because the taser is considered to be a deadly weapon under Georgia law. It's a deadly weapon, so either it is or it is not. Kind of excluded that part out. So when Brooks points a deadly weapon at an officer, that's not a deadly weapon suddenly? And again, some of the things that were said by the DA are leading people to believe that there is just a setup for failure in this whole thing. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation didn't even know there was going to be a press conference, was never told about it. They haven't even finished. They haven't even finished going through all the files and even completed their investigation. And there's the DA coming out and saying 11 counts. Now, some might say there's politics involved. He's in a political fight. He's losing badly, almost like to hand this problem off to somebody else and ultimately make it worse for the next person that comes in. But I want to go back to what the mayor of Atlanta said, and police that are calling out sick, that are not showing up, and the morale and what's going on in departments all across the country. And ultimately, who's going to want to do it? Who's going to want to be a police officer anymore under these circumstances? Who's going to want to be, how well will a politician have information as president of the United States, especially somebody who's not in political circles, who doesn't run with the political elite, if you will, who is a private citizen who runs and wins election to the highest office in the country? How do they ever in the future trust who they're going to bring in? John Bolton coming across and saying how awful the president was in his relationships and his negotiations with President Xi and all the bad things that he did. Stunningly turned the conversation to the president, he says in his book, John Bolton, alluding to China's economic capability and pleading with Xi to ensure that he would win. Stressed the importance of farmers and increased Chinese purchases of soybeans and wheat in the electoral outcome. I mean, is it possible that some of that could have been fanciful, could have been twisted, those words? Is it possible that he insisted that he wanted an increase in Chinese purchases for this deal to take place for our farmers of soybeans and wheat, and maybe to make it a little more fanciful, change the wording around from a negotiation and talking with and dealing with this fact to making it sound like he wanted help and he was desperate to win and that's all it was about, and that maybe John Bolton didn't like that. I'm just putting that out there. And then, of course, some other things that John Bolton has said in the past, interestingly enough, that has come up about lying, as everybody remembers. Well, maybe you don't. How about this?
Now, I want to make the case for secrecy in government when it comes to the conduct of national security affairs, and possibly for deception where that's appropriate. You know, Winston Churchill said during World War II that in wartime, truth is so important it should be surrounded by a bodyguard of lies.
Do you really believe that?
Absolutely.
You would lie in order to preserve the truth?
If I had to say something I knew was false to protect American national security, I would do it.
So, all right, on Judge Napolitano's show when he had it on Fox News, he said that he would flat out lie. So he admits that he would lie. He's saying it's for national security. So which one is it? What is he doing? Like, are these all lies to protect national security? So actually what he's doing, like, he's a good guy? Like, he's doing this and saying all this to get the media all hyped up about something, but really what he's doing is protecting our national interests by doing a tell-all book about the president of the United States while he's still in office, something that is setting a precedent that's never been done before. I mean, what is it? Or is it the opposite? John Bolton's got a lot of trouble ahead. Oh, man, I didn't even get to tell the story. I don't have enough time to tell the story. Well, I'll just tell it quickly. Again, about John Bolton and when I was there with Mike Opelka at CPAC and how, to his face during the broadcast, Mike Opelka asked John Bolton if he knew who the Lorax was and asked him if he's ever been told that he looks like the Lorax to his face while I was sitting there. If you don't know what it's about, look up the Lorax and John Bolton and you'll see it. I've never been more mortified in my whole life. Well, yes, I have, but it was pretty bad. Now it's funny. All right. Anyway, let's move on. Traffic. Here is Week News meteorologist Matt Devitt.
For this afternoon and for this evening, a bit unsettled as our rainy season pattern is